Thank you very much, Nomad, coming into the grand finals here. Gaimin Gladiators against BetBoom Team for us another time. With us at the helm, we're looking at what should be a much closer matchup. You know, they did talk about that Fissure final that did end up 3-0, but I don't know, I sense a much closer final. I feel like, don't hate me for it, 5 games. I sense it.
Well, there are two different stories here. Wallachia produced some of the best grand finals we've seen in the last couple of years, and also it is Gaimin Gladiators in the grand finals. So there's a bit of a, you know, because last 5 grand finals that they played was either 0-3 or 3-0.
Whoa.
And the last grand finals that they did win was Riyadh Masters previous year. So we'll have to see. I think these teams are quite evenly matched in this matchup. I feel like both of them showed great performances so far. Gaimin Gladiators, maybe in this one, they are not playing the strategies that they did play. I think they wanted to adapt to. I talked about the BetBoom team being one of the fastest teams. It's always these Eastern European teams who focus heavily onto the lane, so they needed to match that energy, and we'll see if it's gonna be working out for them, because I'm seeing this Axe and Shadow Shaman. Undying is a super strong laner with Abaddon. There's a lot of sustain. You can keep them low HP. It's also against Lycan and Rubik. You should not be losing this lane. This is a lane that Gaimin Gladiators are definitely going to be winning, because, again, it is Rubik. I think somebody might out there be like, you know what, this guy organized a hate club for Rubik. You want to pick it straight away, get it out of the system, game 1 out of the 5 potentially, and see what's going to happen afterwards.
I was going to say, we're in the middle of a pause. You could get your soapbox out and go after Rubik for as long as you want right now.
Yeah, Rubik right now is not doing the greatest. I believe he's sitting at 42% win rate. It is not the greatest. He's been played 7 times. So nothing too crazy, but again, this is a very good Rubik game in theory, because one of the issue that I do have is he doesn't have that good of a front line. Murta stays a little bit further. Queen of Pain might be blinking in with the Blade Mail. Lycan is going to be causing some of the issues for the supports, Shadow Shaman specifically, with his summons, with his timing on that helm. But yeah, Rubik, if you steal Tombstone, Decay is great, Aphotic Shield, this is probably going to be your best one. LSA, anything from Shaman is good. Even Call for the later stages of the game is going to work out nicely. So none of the big spells, everything's going to be on relatively short cooldown, and this is what Rubik wants to have.
Yeah, Rubik definitely trying to steal anything that'll work, and I feel like if there's a team that's going to make BetBoom, or going to make Rubik work, it's BetBoom.
We saw the games where Rubik is going to try to steal anything, because he's such a shit hero that he's going to be like, yeah, I'll have an extra spell. I'll take whatever I can.
Especially against Abaddon. We saw that last Rubik game where it was always Miscoil. I think they got a Aphotic Shield in that game once. But something I want to talk about is GPK. I mean, this guy has been immaculate. Like, the last 5 games, he's died a total of 3 times. I mean, that is
not
unheard of. That is insane. He has just had so many good games, and it's not like he's doing it with one particular hero. He's doing it with a bunch of different heroes. He did it with the Puck. He did it with the Monkey King that he played up against Team Spirit yesterday, and then he played it with the DK and the Ember coming into this grand final. I mean, this guy has just been perfect.
Yeah, we saw some really good laning coming out from him, but so did Quinn. Quinn's having a blast of a tournament, pretty much dominating every single matchup. We saw him yesterday when he was playing against Nisha, getting the solo kills. Murta will TP to the top lane. Pure doesn't have TP ready.
I want to see how Quinn does with this Lina. We saw it played by BetBoom 3 times in a row by Pure. What's the difference that you get here from a safe lane Lina to a mid lane?
You're pretty much buying into the same items. You're going to be building into Maelstrom. You're going to be building into Boots of Travel as well. You're going to have, I would say, slightly better timing on Boots of Travel compared to the safe lane Lina, because we've seen some safe lanes Lina not having that great of a time, so you're forced to buy into Pyke, you're forced to buy into BKB early, but for mid Lina, you can kind of afford to go for it. Also, this lineup from Gaimin, they're strong in the lanes, but this is not a very explosive lineup. Abaddon, he needs to farm his Radiance. This is not the fastest farmer in the game, so he needs to have a good laning stage. Then you have mid Lina, which can pop off. Axe needs a little bit more time, especially if he goes for the Vanguard build, which seems like that's going to be the item of a choice for Ace.
Yeah, it looks like Bracer, Vanguard, and then eventually we'll see when he gets maybe Blade Mail and Blink Dagger. We've talked about Axe a couple times where it doesn't feel like he has to be at the ready until about that 20-minute mark when the Tormentor is up and objectives start to get taken. So it can be a little bit slower for Gaimin Gladiators, especially like you said with the Abaddon. You know, I'm very curious though, because they do have heroes that can kind of chase and play aggressive. Like both their supports, you land a Tombstone there, or you've got, you know, Tofu going in as well with the Shadow Shaman. He offers a lot in control early. I could see Gaming getting a couple of kills, but for BetBoom, I am curious to see what they put together, especially with their supports of Bane and Rubik.
Right now, they can't do much, especially in the bottom lane. They really don't want to play this lane. It is a very difficult lane to play against, so they are going to be pulling the creeps, getting it closer to the tower. I mean, it is Undying plus Abaddon. Rubik has Fate Bolt, which deals 100 damage, reduces your damage by 5%, which is usually around 3 damage, which is insanely good. And
you don't sound convinced.
No, not really. And you can't really trade. It is also dispellable, so not the greatest spell.
A lot of faith
levels.
in this hero. I mean, 3 damage doesn't feel like a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot either. I don't think it is a lot. But maybe combined with the Lycan, they can get something done. It's not easy, right? Photic Shield, as well as the fact that Undying will have a couple of decays, has a Tombstone. I don't think they get a couple of kills in this
when
game.
you start thinking about it, the combo is there. Fate Bolt, Howl, damage reduction. It's going to be pretty okay. Maybe not at the moment, but once those spells are maxed out, could be pretty good.
Now, where does that rank, though? Pretty okay.
Pretty okay, like 2.7 out of 5.
Okay. That sounds pretty okay. And then this mid matchup so far has just been back and forth, but Quinn, he is pretty low on health, and it's 2-1 with a skill point health so far for GPK. Not a surprise that he's doing well in the lane. I mean, we have just watched this guy blossom throughout this tournament. He's a good player, but, you know, there were some struggles for BetBoom early on in the tournament where they started that first day losing 2-1 to Edge.
Yeah, they definitely powered up as a team. We haven't really seen them struggle as much. Usually it's the other way around with BetBoom Team, where they dominate and then they crumble, but this time around it is different. They are definitely upgrading their game. Maladich with the pause. So far, no first blood. Miero is relatively low. 8 decay, so losing 8 strength. They might decide to dive. Maladich does have Tombstone and does have Blood Grenade.
Didn't see it happen. There it is. There's the Tombstone. Looking for Miero.
Good body blocks by Miero with that Wolf.
Can he grab the Tombstone? Is it worth giving up first blood? No, he denied it. So now Save, he's pretty low. A decay hit. Save's down to about 50 health.
I'll just throw it out there. Well, wait a second. They're battling GPK against Quinn.
It might end up being
Fairy
first
Fire
blood
available on Quinn.
Fairy Fire right-clicks in on a GPK, leaves him at 95 health.
Really pushing the limits there. We'll see if it's going to be Queen of Pain winning that one, or if it's going to be maybe Quinn in Pain, because yeah, if you lose, like if you die solo in this matchup, it could be pretty tricky. You could die one more time with the supports rotation 6 minutes in, because you will have that level 6 available, that extra bit of a damage that you do need. Keeping things pretty even in terms of CS in that mid lane.
These decays are getting annoying, but not a lot of mana left at the moment for Maladich. He does have himself a Lotus as well as 8 charges on that stick. Deadshot comes through, but there's also Shackles on the other side and a Battle Hunger onto the Bane. Queen went all the way back to base, shows up here full health, full mana with a full bottle. Meanwhile, again over bottom.
Oh, look at the HP.
Everybody's
so low.
Kind of expecting a dive again, but he doesn't have the mana to just drop down a Tombstone. Nightmare on to Ace. Still chasing Kathomi, but the Deadshot connects from Pure, so he'll save his Bane. There's no first blood so far, but I feel like it's not for a lack of trying.
No, it's definitely happening soon.
Does seem like we're kind of on the edge of getting first blood. It's almost happened in all 3 lanes.
GPK does have extra bit of XP because Quinn did go back. So let's see if the rotation, maybe they could try to grab a kill. 6-minute rune is spawning in 15 seconds. Save, Blood Grenade, boots ready.
Shadow Strike and Save coming over with a Telekinesis and a Fade Bolt Blood Grenade combo. But still just don't quite have the damage. And now Tofu, he steps up. That may not be the place that he wants to be. Kataomi's also coming through. Maladich is here with a 2-man decay. Brain sap Tofu. He has a Lotus, but he's going to die here for first blood.
Ooh, didn't get that Lotus off. Maybe it could have made the difference, yeah. First blood for Kataomi, and he got a good sleep. Save, ready with the lift.
Telekinesis, they go to the Tombstone, but Quinn, he's going to die, and they'll take out the trade on a save.
It's a level 3 Shadow Strike. It's a lot of slow and damage. They will kill the Tombstone.
Yeah,
extra 125 for GPK. Thinking about maybe jumping in, but knowing that Tofu's going to be here as well, they're not going to commit.
Giving up a couple of kills. First blood went the way of Bane, who picks up boots. So going to be moving a bit quicker, also getting a blood grenade and a smoke, maybe expecting another move from Kataomi. GPK, this is how he gets started. All of a sudden, he gets a kill over mid. He's got some help, and he's got access if he wants it over to the Sonic Wave. But if he can control maybe the 8-minute rune, we can see him rotate over. This is definitely something that they're going to want for the Axe, is these stacks being made by Tofu as well. Still going for this Vanguard, and not too far away from it, 230 gold. He's got that Ring of Health already. He's holding on to a Lotus. So him and Tofu both have Lotuses. They both have regen in this lane. But we'll see if they can get anything. We've seen before a couple of carries rotate, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Pure maybe even made the rotation.
Yeah. Pure was very active on some of the heroes, especially when he was playing NP, TPing in as level 4. We saw him rotating with other heroes as well through the Twin Gates when he was playing Monkey King, I believe. So this is not the easiest hero to gank, so maybe this time around we're not going to be seeing that Twin Gate rotation since you're playing into Abaddon. Lycan doesn't provide you with much damage. You just can't kill him that easily, so most likely he's just going to be continue to farm up, try to get as much as he can, while Tofu is stacking the triangle again for his Axe. Maybe the big camp is going to belong to Lina, because Quinn did die that one time in the mid lane. Would definitely love to recover. GPK.
Shadow Strike and a Scream. Tofu looking pretty dead on his screen, but he gets into the trees. He'll have some help from Maladich with a 2-man decay, but save is here, and they get the kill on a Tofu. Another kill for GPK, just continuing to raise that KDA. He has had a little answer from other teams, and it has been a tough nut to crack.
Not an easy Queen of Pain game. There's a good amount of control that they do have. Axe with the Call, Blade Mail as well, Shadow Shaman, even Lina. I also want to see if Quinn is going to commit putting more than 1 point in LSA, because if you're playing against Rubik, you might just keep it. And you're also playing like a bit of a right-click oriented Lina. He also wanted to go for the Tombstone. There was nobody around, so maybe it was better that he didn't use it, that extra 125 gold.
Would have just boosted up GPK even further, and I mean, even that kill really does boost them up more. They show up mid, they immediately get jumped. You've got two supports that offer control with the Nightmare as well as the Telekinesis. You've got Fade Bolt now at level 3, on top of which they're going to steal these stacks, and now this feels even worse. You're here at the 9-minute mark, and both these supports on BetBoom are closing in on level 6.
I always love the play. Even Muerta's going to come in pure, getting some of the last hits as well. Bringing in numbers, placing the Observer Ward, so they saw any kind of rotation if Gaimin Gladiators wanted to make a move. This, like, you lose a lot, not just because you don't get that far, but also your position 4 hasn't really been doing much on the map other than stacking. It takes them good 15, maybe even 20 seconds to walk in their stack, secure the rune, but they were also not securing the runes. GPK again, Maladich, he just can't catch a break in this mid lane.
Drops the Tombstone, immediately goes to the Blood Grenade.
Ooh, Sonic Wave
pushes back Watson, but misses on Maladich. They'll blink over, they get the kill on Kataomi, and it's an illusion rune for GPK, who will refill that bottle. They don't really have an answer to go after these heroes on the side of Gaimin Gladiators, and they won't be able to get this Tombstone either.
Somebody needed to help him out, either Axe or Abaddon, because they don't have enough damage, and this is the right move, I would say, from Gaimin. Try to bring in the number, because this lineup, again, is a bit on the slower side. You need Radiance, you need your Blink on Axe. Lina can't really make the plays, needs to be the supports, but they're also like very reliant on bringing in numbers. They also need the levels. Tofu right now only level 5, 11 minutes into the game. He would definitely love to be level 6, and they're going to give him the lane, because Ace is clearing some of the stacks that were left. Kataomi still level 5.
He is getting very low, puts that skill point into borrowed time. So he'll pop that, heal up as they hit him, but they've got everybody here from the side of BetBoom. They're even going to go for the Undying, who's trying to TP out. Maladich is dead. GPK with a quick fingertip, while he's also helping out the rest of his team to get Watson. Stole a Photic Shield on that first steal of the game.
This is massive. This is level 4 Photic Shield. It goes down to 6-second cooldown, so you can pretty much use it all the time. You do have Arcane Boots. Save having a really good game, involved in 5 out of 6 kills. You do also have this Troll Creep, which is going to be the tower with the catapult, with the wolves.
We've talked about Save so much throughout the back end of this tournament, especially about how he has felt like the quieter MVP, but GPK as well has just been definitely the showstopper for them.
I'm really trying hard to find more praise for Save, and I think over the last couple of years, it's just very hard because he's been so stable. He's playing one of the best Dota from position 4 we've seen in a while. He's definitely up there with the GOATs, with the Jerexes, and the likes.
He's super consistent whenever BetBoom's playing. Shapeshift, Maladich, he'll throw down a Tombstone, but I mean, they're going to at least get that Tombstone for an extra 125. They'll try to chase Maladich, but he's going down the river, so he's a bit slower, and they'll focus on getting this Tombstone. I mean, 125 gold, you don't get the kill. It's definitely a good consolation prize.
Well, they're probably going to get the tower as well. GPK blinking in aggressively.
Very
knowing
aggressive
that
on
he
the
does have Shield Rune and pop that one. That's extra 700 HP almost.
He's trying to run in.
He knows that with the Photic Shield, they can play this fight relatively easy. Katomi, unfortunately, can't use Fiend's Grip as long as Abba is alive. There's a Sonic
Wave on Quinn.
Him top.
Put some high ground with the help of Watson. They'll focus their attention on Katomi. They get the kill into the Bane, and now they're looking for more. They've got the Shackle, the Battle Hunger. They got the control on a Save, who puts in a Photic Shield on himself that immediately gets popped. He'll steal Decay, but it doesn't matter. Both supports die on the side of BetBoom. And Gaimin Gladiators, again, when they've been successful, it's been because they're bringing the numbers.
That's what they need to do, try to cover each other, and also finding Rubik. I think this is very important, especially when he has a good spell stolen. And this time around, he had a Photic Shield. It was a bit maybe too aggressive from GPK. I assume he wanted to try to bait spell, maybe put them in a spot where they're not that comfortable taking the fight afterwards. But they also have a good amount of tankiness on Gaimin. You have Abaddon, who doesn't die that easily, acts as well with Vanguard, Magic Wand charges. He's also going for a bit of a greedier build, not opting to go for the Blink Dagger, thinking that they can try to out-farm them and not needing to take the fight. So keeping things pretty even so far. 1k gold lead now for Gaimin Gladiators.
They've got that gold lead, but Huerta is top of the net worth. Pure just kind of free to farm here, and more stacks being made by the side of Gaimin to accelerate that farm for these heroes that kind of need it. And Axe, he's towards the middle of the pack. He got that acceleration with the stacks that he's taken. He's almost into that Blade Mail. 14 minutes in, not a bad spot to be in by any means, and then he can go into that Blink Dagger, and they'll have that Initiator as well. Shadow Shaman's doing the same thing, though. We see this with Shadow Shamans a lot. Going into the Blink, looking for Blink Hex, as well as the Shackle control. Maybe get an Aether Lens from afar, but sometimes when you skip that Aether Lens and go straight for Blink, we've seen Shadow Shamans go for something else, right? Like a Yule Scepter in the past.
Yule Scepter against Axe, for example, is very good. Always a Glimmer Cape. Don't necessarily need to go super greedy on this hero. Let's see. Ace. That's going to be Blade Mail, so Blink Dagger is going to be delayed by quite a lot. This is going to be probably one of the later Blink Daggers that we've seen so far in the tournament, because he did go for Vanguard, he did go for the Phase Boots as well, and Blade Mail. Instead of going for auras, like we usually see on Gaimin, they usually have like these auras between Malady, if he's buying something from position 5, maybe even a Holy Locket, maybe a Vlad's or whatever, and then you have maybe sometimes Vlad's on Dawnbreaker, AC as well, or if he's building into Pipe Crimson. Maybe this time around, he's just opting to go for a bit more like tanky build, because he's not building into auras. And it's just sleep on Abba, which is going to be fine. Relic is online for Watson, needs another 600 gold to finish off the Radiance.
Save doesn't have anything stolen in the moment. Would, again, really love to grab that Aphotic Shield if he could.
Just walk to the bottom lane and steal a Aphotic Shield and run back.
Not honestly that bad of a plan if he's the only one there. Might as well just steal it and get it. The whole time it is leaving both cores in their respective safe lanes and just farming with where we've kind of sat at for the last few minutes or so. Things have been very complacent. Had those couple of fights over mid. Since then, things quieting down quite a bit.
Once they finish off the Radiance, I could see Gaimin Gladiators try to smoke, go for the fight. You have very good AoE control with Undying, so you can choose where you want to take the fight with the Tombstone, with Shadow Shaman, Mass Serpent Wards.
There it is.
So Radiance, Blink Dagger, Blade Mail. If they feel that they need Blink Dagger on Axe, they could wait it out, but I could also see them try to take a fight, maybe even force a Roche. Smoke up, because they have more than enough damage to bring Roche on down. BetBoom is going to do the same thing, trying to look for some kind of an opening.
They don't necessarily need Axe to be the initiator immediately.
No, they're very good at counter-initiating.
Yeah. And they've got Tofu who picked up his blink.
If he dies here, Kateomi's going to find him.
Ooh. Blinking back, gets hit by the Nightmare, so that actually puts him in a position where he's not going to get caught. TP attempt out, nobody's going to spot him, and
immediately TPing to the mid lane.
Bane leaves.
Dave, lift, short range, but we'll find him.
Yeah, they've got the lift. They go to the Fiend's Grip. Anybody there to help? The Tombstone is dropped down. They hit the Sonic Wave. It's going to be out of the Lina. They get the kill out of the Quinn. Lina and take him out quick. But now, double Tombstone, the Shackle, but the Calling stops that. They've got this giant Serpent Ward doing some decent damage on the GPK, but just not enough damage. Number's not quite there, and now they're going to shapeshift and go around the back to go for this kill into the Shadow Shaman. Kateomi with the Brain Sap, the Howl, as well as just hitting that foul play and then getting the kill onto the Shadow Shaman. BetBoom again have the numbers, and they will take out 2.
That was a really quick response from BetBoom, seeing that they rotated 3 heroes. And Kateomi finding the right place to TP out from, TPs to the mid lane, gets the grip, knowing that Abaddon can't be there because he was showing, the 3 of them were showing in the top lane. That was a really nice move, and this is also a big timing for them. Miero with Helm, they really don't have the heroes that deal well with it.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Who deals with this Helm of the Overlord creep? LSA was picked up for save.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask the question. You said that was going to be my question.
Oh, yeah, well, that is my question. Who deals with the Helm of the Overlord? I thought you were just doing that thing where, like, you hear me say something, and then, like, you just kind of let me continue and panic. GPK, Shackle, Laguna Blade, but Save is here with the telekinesis. He's going to throw him on top of Tofu. That means a blink back from GPK and a stolen Shackles. Quinn's in trouble. Pure gets the kill. He'll pierce that veil and pierce the heart of both the Lina and the Shadow Shaman. Double kill there for Pure.
And what a turnaround. This is why Rubik is good if you're building the right items. So he has Mana Boots, he does have Pavis instead of useless Ether Lens, and he can actually save his heroes. Like that extra bit of a physical damage barrier, 250. He wasn't dropping low enough to, you know, die, but just making sure that he doesn't die is also very, very good. GPK is going to become more tanky now that he is about to finish off his Kaya Sanj as well. Still yet to see Abaddon getting involved after he finished off that Radiance. But we already talked about Rubik. It's a good game for Rubik with the spells that he can steal.
Yeah,
from Shadow Shaman, Shackles with the increased cast range from Arcane Supremacy. Anything from Abaddon. Anything, I mean, Aphotic Shield. LSA could also be pretty good.
Right now holding on to Shackles. He also switched his Cobalt Cup into a Greedy Essence Ring. So he's getting some extra GPM to get towards that Solar Crest. He's also got Essence Ring, which we see picked up pretty often. Not a bad item to have, and there's that 20-minute Tormentor being taken by the side of BetBoom, which adds more to the net worth of this Rubik by giving him his shard.
It's big. This is actually pretty big. Knowing that you can lift people, whoever gets initiated on, by Shackles, pushing them away from Axe as well when he gets the call. And he immediately switches to Lens, which I'm fine with. Like, just don't rush this item. Like, get one item in between. It's a very good game to keep the distance. And just make sure that you can get your spells off in a fight. Shackles, again, Aphotic Shield. If he can keep the distance, they also don't have the best jumpers right now. There's pretty much only Axe. Abaddon doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, so it should, in theory, be very good for Rubik.
Call connects, and Queen is here as well. They'll try to get the kill onto Save and eventually use that Culling Blade. They also catch Kataomi, but the Sonic Wave hits onto Tofu, and now GPK is going to start to retreat. Giant Serpent Ward is down on the ground. Miero looking for his opening point while he's in that shapeshift, but the Blink, as well as the call, it lands onto the Lycan, but what else
No follow-up.
Tofu doesn't have a lot of health to kind of stand his ground as he's getting chased by the Ancient Black Dragon that's controlled with this Helm of the Overlord, but they're still going. They find another call. It's on Miero. Pick up the phone, Miero. He keeps calling you. But instead, it'll stay on the hook, and he'll be killed by Quinn.
Really good fight for Gaimin. Finding Rubik immediately before he can get anything off. He tried to toy with them, use the Soul Ring, use the, Essence Ring, and now he's stolen a Photic Shield, using the Shackles there as well to try to prolong a fight. Maybe Axe doesn't get the dunk, which did give him move speed, so they can try to chase him down. And another call. I like that Tofu blinked in, even though he was relatively low HP, seeing that Abba is also behind him, even if it means that he sacrifices his life for the kill on Lycan, it's still gotta be worth it.
Kind of a long fight where, hold that thought, Fiend's Grip pierced the Veil, as well as a couple of Wolves here. GPK is also in the area. They'll get a quick kill onto Quinn. But I was going to say, you know, a long drawn-out fight where Axe has the opportunity to get a couple of calls in and get that connection and hold on to that Lycan. Letting a lot of calls in these fights and calling quite often, kind of like your food couriers. But now after that kill onto Quinn, they will go for Roche.
Yeah, they do have the damage. And Miero has been looking pretty impressive on this Lycan every single time he played it. Pretty much going for the same item build every game. Helm into AC, into Shard sometimes, but sometimes kind of going for Nullifier immediately after. There's a lot of good things that you can remove, especially the Aphotic Shield when supports get their defensive items. Solar Crest is ready on Maledich. You know that supports love to buy into Ghost Scepters when they play against you. Solar Crest, Glimmer, so they can try to hide you. With that Nullifier, it's not going to be a thing. And also Nullifier has been buffed. They also see Lina does have Hurricane Pike. I'm not sure for what reason Nullifier got buffed in this regard, because it has been already one of the most annoying items to play against when you're a support. And now it also gets nullified. Sure, you push him away from you, but you still stay in the same place pretty much.
If they can get to that Nullifier pretty quickly.
Wolves have been doing a great job. Like Miero scouting things out, which did allow them to get the kill in the previous fight on Quinn, and then they got Roche out of it. They might need to pick up the gem early on Gaimin.
The thing is, it has to be held on like Axe, right? Because I don't think your support survive. Which is a little bit tough. Don't want to be looking to give back that gem so quickly. Here we'll ping out the 4 Lotuses in the pool, so Lycan will turn that into a great healing Lotus. They do lead by a little bit. They do have this Aegis. We'll see if they smoke and look for a play. Maybe they're just waiting for this AC to get delivered here on Miero, which he has coming out on his courier. They have a smoke ready to go on Save, who's got a Photic Shield, and that will give them also that a little bit of sustain to feel even more confident in these fights.
He's about to lose it in like 25 seconds or something. We'll need to steal another spell.
They're not going to find anybody, though, if they continue to retreat on the side of Gaimin. They rotated over here towards bottom, but just a little bit late on getting Tofu or Quinn. Blink Dagger for Pure. He wants to dive into these fights.
I think he sold it.
Yeah, he bought it then sold it because he was immediately back to 2,600 health. Or gold. And then they'll go. They'll find the Shackles and get GPK, something that's been a very rare occurrence for these teams up against BetBoom Team. LSA lands, and Kataomi's going to be dead second. 2 heroes got on the dire side, but the chase is on. Tofu wants more. The calling is down, the Shackles are out, but they're still chasing. Axe maybe even thinking about going for Pure. He went the other way. They knew that they have this kill ready to go on to Save. Could they find Pure? No, they can't. Knew he was a little bit too fast, and Ace just a bit too far behind.
Without GPK, they're not going to be taking that fight. He is a lot of damage over time as well. Pure, yeah, he toyed with the idea that he needs a Blink Dagger there, but maybe against the BKB, like this BKB is going to give him protection, against Muerta, which is going to be really nice. She's still going to kill herself onto the Blade Mail, so that's one way to protect herself. And Axe going for a bit of a different itemization. A lot of the times you would see BKB on Axe, as is pretty much his third item after the Blade Mail and Blink. But this time, he is going for Aghanim Scepter.
Easy 250 gold there for Quinn, who is being chased by a couple of wolves, picking up 82 more, so that was some very fast gold for Quinn. It's also going into the BKB.
Yeah, there's that Axe on Axe. I think he wants to be able to reduce the damage coming up from Muerta as well, so that he doesn't die when he uses the call on her. It can't go up, like these numbers have been nerfed, but it can go up to 72% damage reduction.
It's quite a bit, eh? Another pause and some delay on TeamSpeak.
That's my bad. It's actually 60%. It is 5 stacks instead of 6.
Still a pretty high number, though.
Yeah,
right?
it was 90, I believe.
Whoa. I mean, that's almost 100%.
Yeah, you were just not taking the damage as Axe.
Bought for the first time on this hero, though. In the grand final, switching it up, going for this Aghanim Scepter.
A little surprising, considering the amount of times we've seen Axe being played so far at Wallachia. Even being first pick in some of the games.
Choosing this time, though, to kind of experiment, but kind of know what you want. I like the build that he's got so far. But I'm looking at everything else, and you got Radiance as well as the Manta ready on this Abaddon. He's holding onto that poor man's shield. We've seen him able to survive these fights at times. Is it enough here from Gaimin with what they've got on their supports too? Just the Glimmer, the Solar Crest, the Blink Initiation that's going to come from Tofu. Do you want them to build anything in particular?
I would just like to see a gem. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Maybe get another defensive item on Shadow Shaman. He has Yule Scepter being delivered. You have 2 of those on your Undying, which is more than fine at this stage of the game, 26 minutes in. He's relatively farmed, even without having the shard from Tormentor.
Deadshot, Nightmare, Blink in from GPK. Finally throws a Shadow Strike over onto the Shadow Shaman, but Yule's just delivered. That was the item I was talking about after that Blink Dagger. They've got that Yule's now. That sets up maybe even for himself or the Axe.
Interesting neutral item from the Arrow, Ancient Black Drake. Instead of the BBD that they usually have on side of BB team. So this increases spell amplification by 7%.
Oh, that connects, but the Nightmare from Kathomi to try and save Pure, at least for the moment.
He has the Croaker now. Ooh, 20-second cooldown on that mini Ravage.
Calling his place. There's the Shadow Strike, and then the Aphotic Shield from Watson. I will say connects on a Pure. He's got this Aegis for 15 more seconds. If this fight lasts a little bit too long, he might not be able to use it, but scratch that. He was called, then Culling Bladed. They hit the Shackles. They get the kill to Kathomi. They take the Bane. They're going to look as this giant Serpent Ward has a twin brother.
Oh, Maladich, he's buying time.
Yeah, they've got the Arrow in some trouble. The Battle Hunger on him. He has to run away. Maladich also has to go back into the base. As these 2 giant Serpent Wards will fight it out, Miero is trying to make sure that he doesn't get hit by a Culling Blade, but can't find the success in that.
Oh, man, Ace having a great game. Didn't die a single time. Had a bit of a slower one. I mean, this whole lineup from Gaming needed a bit of extra time to come online, and seems like now they're fully unlocked.
Stole that giant Serpent Ward, but the fight kind of dispersed. A little bit too far for both those Serpent Wards to find a lot of effectiveness in that fight.
Yeah, Miero's trying to fight the supports in the backlines, but they didn't die. This survivability from Maladich, being relatively high level, having Essence Ring, having Solar Crest and Glimmer Cape, keeping himself alive in most of these fights, which was nicely done. And also, something to point out is that Ace did go for the other level 10 talent. Usually you see the combination where he's moving faster, he's picking up the shard, but instead he did go for extra 3 seconds on the Culling Blade, which is 9 seconds. And you do get extra 30 armor, so everybody around you gets pretty tanky in 900 AoE. It's also one way to deal with having squishier supports where you get the first initiation, you get the dunk, suddenly everybody gets the move speed, they get that extra armor. And he got a second dunk as well, then a third dunk, which also did help a lot in terms of how long they managed to survive on the supports.
Yeah, you saw Maladich able to run away and survive that one. He's going into a Lotus Orb. He's got some good net worth here. He's already got that first part of the plate mail picked up. We saw Tofu get his Yules right before that fight broke out. The supports are pretty farmed, and including the Rubik too. The only one who really doesn't have a lot is this Bane, who is going into that Aether Lens Aghanim Scepter. That's the combo. So just trying to make sure they have the control. If you can't stand there with the Fiend's Grip, try to at least delay as long as you can, and the Ags makes it much easier.
Yeah, not an easy game for Bane. Who's gonna win? 1-2 minute cooldown ability or 6-second cooldown on Abadonsky? It is very difficult, especially now that he has a Blink Dagger as well. They have multiple ways of dealing with it. LSA, Yule Scepter, and Shadow Shaman. Any spell pretty much from Shadow Shaman. There's Tormentor available now. Supports on Gaimin. They don't have their shard. They can definitely take it. Quinn is showing in the bottom lane, about to finish off his Boots of Travel. So he opted to go for a bit of a later Boots of Travel. Quite opposite of what I said. Thought that the game is going to be, that he needed to be slightly more active in terms of bringing in the items, using that network. Knowing that maybe the rest of the team is also going to be playing a bit of a slower game, so just have protection of his own with the Hurricane Pike, with the BKB. Tofu's going to get it. This is a good shard. Upgrades your foul play, allows you to use items. So you can blink out, you can Yule Scepter, maybe you get Glimmered, you can use the Gale Guard as well. Gives you good survivability after your foul play is procced.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of instances where Tofu, if he was able to use those items, would have survived getting through those trees and maybe able to blink away. We'll see if that shard makes the difference in the next fight. See if they're looking to fight on the side of Gaimin, and they are. They do spot themselves this Bane. They've got this Giga Ward down, but Kateomi, with the help of Pure and that dead shot, was able to run just a bit. Nightmare LSA for staff used by Pure on a Kateomi. Save, gonna steal an LSA. Deadshot connects now onto Quinn, but they put the Battle Hunger onto this Bane. They really want this Bane. They do not want to let him leave, but how far is too far on a Jace? Deadshot connects again. It's on to Quinn, who will pop the BKB. They were thinking about the Sonic Wave. GBK over to the side, goes after Ace. They hit the Sonic Wave. It's on to 3. They get the kill to Ace. They'll take the axe. Now Quinn, Tofu, all fall. There goes Maladich. Oh, God, they chased all that wave for Kateomi, and they pay massively for that.
Ooh, man, that was a really long chase. Save, stealing LSA, even though it was only level 1 LSA, he still stuns him, force him to use a Photic Shield. And again, with this fight, BetBoom, they will take Roche. They committed pretty heavily. I believe he also had a, not sure if that was great or greater healing Lotus. So he used the Sleep, used the Brain Sap, pretty much goes back to full HP, gets the Fiend's Rip onto Abba.
There's the Aegis. Picked up by Pure. Pure landing a couple of dead shots in there that extended that chase, but they were tunnel vision. They wanted this Bane. There's still a tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, and they chased so far.
Even if you get a kill there on Bane, he still has enough gold to buy back. He's sitting at 950 gold. And you can see he gets solar crested by his Rubik.
Look at where
Sleep.
Mira is.
Watson popped the ulti just to remove the Sleep from Bane, which I don't think this is... maybe because the rest of the team are not around him, so he needed to unsleep himself, wake him up. And then he gets gripped afterwards. He can't do anything, losing some of the mana, and that was a full gripped duration. This is also a pretty big item. Silver Edge on Muerta, you can break Axe, and it also means that he can't spin.
Blink Call, Nightmare, Hurricane Pike pushback. Pierce the Veil into the Silver Edge. Will leave.
So with that Silver Edge, if you can get it off, let's say he calls you, you're on the Silver Edge or you break him before, that also means that that damage reduction is not going to be kicking in with the Aghanim Scepter.
See if they fight with this Aegis, if they're the aggressors this time. Do pick up a smoke on Rubik. BKB's finished on Watson. Lotus Orb on the Ace. And there is that immediate smoke. But who can they find? Quinn kind of far back by his tier 3 tower, but the rest of these heroes up towards top. They've got Maladich as well as Ace over there. They aren't really seeing. The only one they really see is that Undying, and that might just be who they go for. Nobody else too far under any of the vision they had in the jungle or anything like that. They place down that sentry. Gale Guard, they hit the fear, they'll get the kill, and then they get a plus 175, maybe. There it is, they got the vision.
How many times are they gonna miss?
Oh my god. Just missed like 7 times in a row.
It's the Gaimin Gladiators buff.
This shrine is trying to be stolen, and successfully done so by Gatomi. I mean, nobody's out here for the side of Gaimin Gladiators, who were just showing over in the top river outer jungle area. Kataomi gets it, and start to kill these wolves. They need to make sure that they can see these wolves coming in. Blink call, Pure, taunted. LSA has an Aegis. Not sure if he'll sleep to use it, though. They have the Nightmare. Now the Shack on a GPK, but that's going to be taken out immediately. The damage in real quick to stop that, but there's the Sonic Wave. It lands on a Quinn as well as Maladich. They'll get the kill to the Undying. He has buyback. They'll take the Aegis, but now the telekinesis on the borrowed time. Fiend's Grip on the Abaddon, but there's the Blink as well as the Hex. They'll drop down the Serpent Ward, but now the Blink of the Call coming up from Ace. That connects on a GPK, but the damage is there for the side of BetBoom. They look over at Watson, who no longer has that borrowed time. He'll be run down by Miero. One more shot. There it is. They get the kill. He's gone for 75. The Dust Fuse. They've got Maladich once again. Nullifier on him. And they will take him out as well. It all breaks open. The hinges are off the door here for the side of BetBoom in the base of Gaimin Gladiators.
Borrowed time. They want to kill Quinn.
Yeah,
no Scepter's pop. They do it.
Oh my god. All right, at the cost of Pure.
Ah, that was a nice play. This is a statement inside of their base. This game kind of completely flipped with this fight. 7,000 damage from Queen of Pain. Almost 8,000. Same damage from Pure. Focusing down Quinn, like bringing him to low HP, and this was again another great Sonic Wave from GPK. Finds the right angle, connects onto multiple heroes.
Buyback from Quinn, but 3 heroes who just don't have buyback. This is not going to be good. The Hex is there, and Quinn, he's force-staffed into the fountain. They're in again!
With the Ghost Scepters.
Tofu too!
Oh, nice play from Tofu.
I don't know why. I mean, I'm surprised they're tipping Pure. I feel like they would have tipped GPK on that one.
Miero's in. He has the banner as well. AC. Ace thinking about getting the jump.
He was under a ward, though.
Oh, God.
They knew exactly where he was.
He got hexed immediately.
They got Tofu, and they're going to look for Ace. The spins are not winning. And the TP is out for Miero. Another tip to save. Save has Hex. I'm just wondering specifically why the tip straight to save.
Oh, they love the tip save. He's always pretty much the focus of 4 of the tips yesterday or day before when he was playing Wind Ranger. Like, even when he was not landing these crucial shackle shots onto 2 heroes, he was still getting tipped.
You still get the Dota plus points on the tips, right? When you get tipped? Maybe he's saving for a specific set he wants.
Yeah, when this guy retires, if he doesn't have enough money from Dota, which he probably should have, he can always be a waiter or something, because he's very good at collecting those tips.
You're gonna spin that iPad around.
No, yeah, dude.
Your options are 80%, 100%, or 120%.
I love America.
All I got was a $2 coffee. I'll take the outpost, and they are right up towards this top tier 2. They'll clean that up, and let's see, as they might just push for more. Went from 50-50 to 90-10. To say the odds have changed drastically might be an understatement.
Yeah, the damage from Queen of Pain, like, she has Whisper of the Dread, and she also has Timeless on top of that. So debuff duration, spell amplification. That Ghost Scepter that she did buy just to dive the fountain isn't even used.
Here with the you can't cheat death line. They'll finish off that bottom set of racks. Just the top tier 3 and Ceterax stand here between them and Mega Creeps.
Abaddon also needs to be careful. We talked about the break mechanic against Axe, but she does have break plus silence, which can be deadly for Abaddon.
GPK blinks in. They immediately drop the tombstone and buy back on Tofu. They're not just going in at all. GPK is the one bringing the fight to them. Sonic Wave with the blink forward, looking over at Maladich. GPK gets the kill there. BKB borrowed time. Kathomi ends up dying. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but Tofu getting ripped apart by the Muerta. The ace is gone. 3 heroes dead without buyback. Down goes Tofu. 4 heroes are away from the fight, away from the game. And game number 1, they will dive your fountain like a coin thrown in. They will get Watson and get a full team wipe before the throne explodes, and BetBoom will take game number 1.
Oh, Gaimin Gladiators, they managed to find a couple of...
Thank you very much, Shiver. Coming into game number 2 here, BetBoom have themselves a 1-0 lead in this BO5. And it's looking like it's going to be honest, DOTA. Like you said, something pretty close overall. I don't really expect this game to be too one-sided, but we have seen these teams... I want to say have like these exact lineups at some point in the tournament, and we've seen the best out of them with these heroes.
Yeah, we did save leading the charge. He does have chicken fingers.
They're going for a first blood fight. Shackles
He'll
on
start
the
with Torrent. Torrent follow-up.
Yeah, that's more lockdown. That should secure this first blood, but do they get anything else? It's not looking likely. They all start to back off, but given that first blood to Pure,
oof, we've seen what Templar Assassin can do. If we go back when Watson played it, he popped off completely playing that Templar Assassin, giving him the first blood, and this is going to be a very good start for him because you can get your Falcon Blade. Seems like that's going to be the item of a choice for him, seeing that he has good amount of sustain in the lane playing with Warlock. He's going to be feeding him tangos, using the Shadow Word. It's going to be all about that survivability so that he doesn't die. It's not the lane that Gaimin Gladiators did run with TA, with the Refraction, with Abaddon against that Axe and Marcy. So they can take the Refraction relatively easily with all this damage over time. You are playing with Venomancer, and you also have Dawnbreaker. This has been, I would say, Gaimin's bread and butter in terms of how they've been playing. Strong mid laner, strong safe laner as well. Panel talked about this being a relatively good game for Morphling, a good lane as well, where he's not going to be caring too much about what he's playing against. And we'll see how much Watson's going to be able to get out of this lane.
Yeah, curious to see how the Morphling does, especially a little bit later too, right? Like if you get this shard on the Templar Assassin, which is normally a pretty standard pickup. You have that with the Waning Rift. If the silences are out there for Morphling to make it a little harder, or you've got that blink initiation from the Shaman, if Watson's going to be able to react quick enough, or if they have the ability to turn it around, Dawnbreaker seems like they have to be ready. And Maladich is in trouble up top. They hit the Shackle, they have the Torrent.
Also, Gale misses in the bottom lane, allows them to put some really good damage. It did not connect onto Pure.
Save, Fairy Fire. The creeps, though, will kill off the Shadow Shaman top. And it will split that bounty, and then bottom lane now.
Beautifully done.
Fatal Bonds, Tofu taking some decent damage.
Starbreaker connecting onto both of them, but Tofu also does have 8 stick charges. He's going to be fine. It is a lot of damage over time. Might need to sacrifice himself here, unless he can get the heal off. They used a lot of spells. Like minute and a half into the game, 8 stick charges on Tofu.
He's forced to salve, and he is trying to get as much life back as he can. Kathomi not going to spot him at the moment, but can he even go for this? I mean, this is now Tofu, pretty healthy. A lot of mana on him there too, and you know, like you said, these Warlocks, they want to get that Shadow Word and heal up as much as they can, especially if you're breaking through the Refraction, and you know you can put that damage in heavy on the Pure early.
Not an easy lane for Pure. Like right now, because he got the first blood, he's getting extra bit of a gold, having that Blades of Attack, but once they initiate on him, it's not going to be as easy. Kathomi will need to use Fatal Bonds immediately, try to keep them low so they can't play aggressive in this lane. I think that's going to be pretty much the key. Keep Pure on pretty much full HP and try to keep them as low as possible. This Fatal Bonds is doing quite a lot of work.
Yeah, not only are you getting the CS, but then you get those imps that come through and try to put on some more damage to these heroes, which makes things a little bit more uneasy for Gaimin Gladiators. The longer Pure can stay in this lane, the better. But Templar Assassin is one of those heroes that can back up into the jungle, especially if some stacks have been made, and farm pretty efficiently around the map.
Did he just block his own camp? I believe so, because he placed a sentry, which is outside of that small camp.
Nero up forward at this top lane. Ooh, they actually see Tofu, but Celestial Hammer thinking about going for Tetsuomi with the Starbreaker. Shuffles to the side. Fatal Bonds are there. Tofu shows himself. He's one shot from dead. But now trying to put the damage on these creeps. It's not going to be enough to get the kill there onto Ace, but Maladich ends up dead. Watson able to waveform back, and Miero survives with a sliver of health.
Maybe if they could get to level 4 on Miero, this could be pretty big. He can. Oh, he doesn't have a TP. I guess he TP'd to a lane once they made that move in the bottom lane, so he will need to get a TP healing salve most likely, try to get back himself to full HP.
The aggression that we're seeing from BetBoom bottom has really opened up the lane a lot for Pure.
It did.
They're sitting so low on Gaimin Gladiators, just constantly in this lane. And Ace, he's got 5 stick charges.
It's another healing salve.
Yeah, he's buying a salve that Tofu's going to be forced to pick up. So Tofu picks up that salve and throws it over to Ace. He activates it, and then he'll heal up. And now these heroes are finally with some decent health in the lane, but immediately they step back into the lane, and they're affected by these fatal bots. This Celestial Hammer really doesn't grant them much of anything. Top lane, save. Moving forward, looking to get a kill here again onto Maladich. And we'll end up trading. Miero involved in yet another kill.
Watson is fine with these trades. Losing position, 5, getting a kill, getting a solo XP, getting that gold. And also going to be extra bit of XP while Maladich is missing from the lane. We saw Quinn and GPK in the mid lane in the previous game squaring up relatively early on against each other, really pushing the limits.
Yeah, definitely a lot of aggression. It ended up, when it started to really fold over, was when that 6-minute mark hit and these heroes were coming over to defend against these runes. Get that Knobs off the high ground. Quinn needs to be careful about his positioning with Save looking to jump in, but they've also got Maladich coming through. He'll find the dual breath. Chicken Fingers Hex onto the Jakiro, and they just back away from each other.
Try to make a move before he gets level 6. Now Quinn can TP back to the lane, full HP, full mana, refill that bottle. They managed to survive in the bottom lane, which is the most important thing for BetBoom. This damage over time. Haven't managed to do much. Kataomi doing a very, very good job keeping them at very low HP. They spent a lot of gold as well on consumables. Tofu and Ace, multiple sets of tangos, couple of healing cells.
Arcane Rune was bottled for Quinn. A Shackle will just extend the inevitable death of Save. He'll foul play and die to Quinn, who got that first power rune, and it was him and GPK just trying to right-click quicker, but Quinn was the faster fingers. No chicken with his fingers. They've got a 1,000 net worth lead for BetBoom, and that's because these side lanes are going really well for them.
This glyph wasn't even supposed to be used for Miero, but they got the extra bit of a value. They did glyph it for the mid-wave, keeping the catapult alive. Quinn playing behind enemy lines. GPK will still kill off the catapult. We saw yesterday as well, Team Spirit really struggling in this matchup, where GPK completely dominated Laurel. He did not have a game on Ember Spirit. We'll see how they're going to approach this one. Quinn needs to run away. They brought in the numbers.
Yeah, immediately needs to get out of there. Don't want to be giving up any advantage that you've picked up in the lane. He's only got himself about 40 gold ahead of this Puck. The one who's really struggling is Ace. He doesn't have much of anything in the lane.
As we said, a lot of that gold was spent on items to keep himself alive. He was constantly on low HP, sitting below 20%. Can't really get close to the lane. Couldn't get close to the creeps. And Pure's going to be level 6. That extra bit of a slow. Also have in mind, Warlock has the extra bit of a charge on Black Grimoire. Only one though, one you get from the start. The second one he did pick up from getting that first blood.
So not many charges.
No, he did consume it. Running towards the mid lane.
You're not looking to wait on it, but didn't get the level 6 with it. No chaotic offering, and we'll come over towards the mid lane and see Tofu.
Blood grenade missed.
Venomous Gale thrown over on a Pure. Dream Coil committed. That's going to land onto Quinn. Tofu eventually will get run down. It will be GPK who gets the kill. Maladich
More
is here with
people
Quinn,
mid.
but it doesn't really mean anything.
They know. Like, I've seen a lot of rotations from the offlaners 6-8 minutes in when they really want to help out their mid lane. But also Pure going in, getting the kill, or at least getting the assist, but also making sure that they are grabbing that kill and then TPing to the bottom lane, being very active on this carry.
Yeah, when he's got himself a little bit of a lead, he spirals out of control, and now he's going into the Desolator, has that Falcon Blade already. Has picked that up alongside those treads, and he's sitting top of the net worth. Watson, though, not too far behind him. His lane's been relatively open for himself, despite the fact that Miero seems like he's having a pretty good game in that off lane.
Yeah, kind of expected, I would say, that Kunkka is going to farm. He's not going to be able to kill Morphling by any means, but both of them are getting good amount of farm. And I also want to see Pipe on Miero. I see Blade Mail. You want to have like one small item, and you're playing into insane amount of magic damage, supports as well. I want to see the Glimmer Capes also being built, because there's just so much. Other than Morphling, Ember Spirit's a bit of a like mixed damage, physical and magical. But yeah, Pipe definitely a must-have item in this game.
Something we've seen Kunkas pick up before. Dream Coil thinking about the chaotic offering. That's thrown over. And they've got the turret, the ghost ship. Unneeded as GPK gets the kill, but the ghost ship did land afterwards. And they'll go in, they'll push this tower. They've got a golem to work with, so that's going to be some extra damage and some extra oomph into this
And look
push.
at the triangle. Pure is actually stealing some of their stacks while they're making a move. Without Ember Spirit, he's really not afraid. He can TP out unless they bring like multiple heroes, and the rest of the team's playing relatively close to him. So getting the most out of the map. Already a 2k gold lead for BetBoom Team.
Oh, Miero really happy with that neutral item. Magical Chip Vest. That combined with the Blade Mail.
It is a lot of
the
damage
duo
that
you
return.
love.
It is. It is. That's just me, inner offlaner bias talking through, because like it's good on Centaur, it's good on Axe, any of these heroes. Just the Chipped West gives you insane amount of farm, insane amount of return damage. Centaur's the best one because he also has an ability that gives you the return damage. You also build into the Blade Mill. Watson's still in a good spot, pretty much keeping up with Temporal Assassin, which is what is necessary for them to be able to punch back in this game. Problem is they did shut down Quinn. They did lose the tower in the mid lane as well. Yet to see Dawn ulti as a saving tool when they try to initiate. It has been used like ever since Dawnbreaker has been added to the game. Puck at the time when she was added was a relatively popular hero, so we saw it as a response to Coil. So you always know, like even with Coil or against the Coil, where you can just disengage, get that extra bit of a heal. And we've seen some really good Dawnbreaker performances, but as tournament progressed, I feel like Dawnbreaker's win rate hasn't been the highest.
No, it's been maybe a little bit lacking. We have seen some good Dawnbreakers, and it always feels like they're doing a lot in these games to keep their team within it, but eventually it seems like they just kind of get overwhelmed. But Ace is still continuing to farm. Didn't want to react over to that.
Oh yeah, oof, man, I'm checking the stats. She lost last 5 games that she played.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's not like those Dawnbreaker performances, though, are that bad, I would say.
No, by any means.
Accomplishing that job of coming in, getting that Ags early, trying to keep these heroes alive, and just ends up not being enough. Blade Mail picked up for the Kunkka.
It is his farming tool as well. Exactly what Kunkka needs. Extra bit of a damage, extra bit of armor to make him even more tanky. Even though this hero is super tanky in general, with his innate ability, Admiral's Rum, you get the Ghost Ship, get extra bit of a Rum buff as well. It seems like Ags is the item of a choice. Maybe thinking that... I mean, this is also tankiness when you think about it, because it does buff up your team. Pipe is a little bit easier to execute, but I wouldn't mind seeing both of them. And Deso, 12 minutes in. This has to be the record on Deso, because this is pre-Dragonlance. He does buy Falcon Blade, so that's an item of a substitute, at least for now, for him. Pure is in trouble here.
He's in trouble, but he might get a kill on him outage before he dies. Chaotic Offerings in, he gets the refraction off again, but it's not gonna matter. They get the kill on Pure. Solar Guardian, but they hit the shackles. Uh-oh, Dream Coil stopping that, getting the kill on a Watson. GPK making sure there's no Solar Guardian, and without that Guardian, they get that kill. They take out this Morphling and the Dawnbreaker. Tofu in trouble, he's dead too. GPK popping off.
He's X.
Looking for Quinn, they've got the X, the Remnant away, but is it far enough away? GPK is still there, and if Maladich continues this TP, he might just get
got him.
Too. Oh,
Arrow.
the Tidebringer,
Read
and now
him.
the jump behind the tower.
And now Maladich is dead as well.
This is gonna be 6 heroes dead. BetBoom.
Oh, this is just brutal. This is
6
a
big
disaster.
booms.
That coil making the difference. Pure also getting the Deso charge out of that because he survived long enough. Refraction, got another off. I also love that they're layering the TPs. Kataomi coming in first, using the rock because he's the most important hero to try to break the fight. And then you can come in with the others. But yeah, not a good fight for Gaimin. And I'm really glad that Kunkka is switching things up. After getting that gold, he's involved in 10 out of 12 kills on Miero. Kunkka being very active and switching to pipe, which I really like. I'm still fine with him getting the Aghanim Scepter as the next item. And there it is. Pure. Got a little surprise there. Immediately Warlock TPing in.
This Chaotic Offering.
Getting Fatal Bonds
And
on
the
them.
Fatal Bonds.
And this
Oh,
might be just another
Quinn.
one. Puck makes this matchup really, I would say, borderline unplayable when you're playing it from behind. Because you don't really want to buy a BKB. Maybe you want to buy something like we've seen. I would say Kiyotaka would probably buy something like a Yule Scepter to try to buy a little bit more time, remove that silence during the coil. And we'll see what Quinn's going to go with. Because this guy Assange, it does make you tanky, but you also might suffer in some of these early engagements. Save, still searching.
They want Watson.
He's a little bit low on mana. If he gets the Hex off, Watson, they know. They just saw the creep die.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ooh. Watson? The Hex? Shackles, Solar Guardian. This is gonna come in. And that'll save Watson for a second.
He's still
but
dying.
It's not gonna be enough. Quinn's here, but you already lost your Morphling. You get saving GPK. Pure, he escapes. They hit the torrent. Now Miero's on the run. This might actually be a good counterplay from Gaimin Gladiators. All things considered, with the fact that you've lost your Morphling. Tofu moving forward, looking for Miero, lands that blood grenade, and now pops that blade mail, tries to turn it around. He goes into the torrent as well as the ghost ship. That flies over, but does Miero have enough damage? Blade mail, Starbreaker, the control is in, and Miero eventually will, in fact, fall.
Very good kills from Gaimin. Making sure that after Watson died, Ace getting a double kill, and that's going to be his big item. I like what I'm seeing. Instead of going for auras this game, at least for now, he has Orchids, seeing that they will need extra bit of a control. Right now, they don't have much, so GPK immediately queues up that Yule Scepter. He wants to be able to dispel it, because it is a pretty free puck game. When we talk about the amount of lockdown that they do have on Gaimin, it really isn't much. You don't have that instant stun. Maybe you can try to surprise him with the Ice Bat, which is okay, but it's the only level 1 Ice Bat.
Ace, Orchid, now going Ags. He's still middle of the pack, though. The one suffering in the moment is Quinn. Bottom of the net worth on the cores, and by a considerable amount of gold. He has just not been able to really find much of an opening in this game at the time, and this has been very tough for him, dealing with these Dream Coils, dealing with the aggression, the Hex, the Shackle, the control that BetBoom bring to the table. Serpent Wards to try and get this tower, but they will be cleaned up by Tofu and Quinn. I say that, though, Chaotic Offering committed. They go to the Hex, they land the Torrent. Ice Path isn't going to do much, but they've got the Solar Guardian, so now they're going to back away. The ones coming in are the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Celestial Hammer hits on a save. Quinn, Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, wait for him forward from Watson, but he's going to be Hexed. Now, Silence. That was the Orchid from Ace. The Shackles on the Quinn, but the damage coming out from Pure might be able to clean him up. They've got the X, but the Ghost Ship coming in. It's going to be off the mark, but it'll hit on a Watson. They get the control, and now they'll look to get the
Silence,
kill and take him
dead.
out. Maladich is gone. Kataomi with a double kill, and the target is now Ace.
They want to chase.
Oh,
He
Quinn.
with the blink.
Uh-oh.
Quinn, no remnants.
Yeah, he is in trouble, and he is dead. Pure burning from the Celestial Hammer fire, but it's not going to be enough. They've got the Waning Rift trying to TP out, but the damage isn't enough. They've got Yules anyway. They have the lockdown, and they've got another.
man, this is just a bit too much. Again, chasing for a really long time. It's what happened in game number 1 when they were chasing Bane for good 25 seconds. Now chasing Save instead. And he had Tranquil Boots ready, so had extra bit of a movement speed in that fight until he hit him with the Slight, which is physical damage. Tofu still just might die here. Twitch Blade, gonna be enough. GPK popping off again.
I'm looking back, and
how far are you looking back?
I'm looking back at the tournament as a whole.
Okay.
Where BetBoom kind of had this ignition, right? They had the wick, it was there, they found their foot and steel, and they got themselves the spark needed to ignite them as a team, and they have only lost 2 games, or 3 games throughout this playoff, and they've gone through the lower bracket, and they've looked so good, and they have just grown the entire time. I mean, these fights are just perfect. The counter plays are good, and I mean, they're making a team like Gaimin, who have been amazing themselves, who have gone through the upper bracket, who ran through the Swiss stage, struggle so far in this first game and a half.
Yeah, this one is also getting slightly out of control. It needs to be Watson popping off. Now he has Mantis now, which is going to be his way of dealing with those silences. Dealing with the control. But they are going for Roche. Kunkka is super tanky. Pipe ready. You have Solar Crest on Warlock. Shadow Shaman with Lens going into Blink Dagger next. But Pure is also gonna be used as a bait in a lot of these situations because they have these items that we talked about. If you pop the pipe, use the Solar Crest on him, Refraction, especially now that he's holding the Aegis, and GPK will kill Tofu solo one more time.
On top of this pipe with the Crimson, this is the build we saw before for Kunkka when he was seen last time. And it is just such sustain for BetBoom Team, and they had, like we talked about before the game started, that early Roche potential. And they've got themselves an Aegis to work with now. Just overwhelming at all sides. This Venomancer has not really found many spots to output much of anything.
No, he's trying to get out on the map, try to get something done, get some extra information, get some farm, see when they move across the map. But GPK thinking about maybe blinking in. Unfortunately, his courier did die, and now Blink Dagger is being delivered on the courier. Coil coming off cooldown in 15 seconds.
Gonna need to be careful. That coil affects these heroes into a tight spot.
Maladich, 3-shot. 400 gold for Pure. A lot of damage over time, but they also have good amount of sustain with Pipe, with the heals coming out.
Hit by this turret.
Is dead again.
The Gale's not gonna matter.
Oh, never mind. They're ready. They might be ready to go for the high ground. They have Mass Serpent Wards. They have Aegis up and running for another 3.5 minutes. Golem off cooldown, and they're gonna drop it. We've seen Kaori do the same thing multiple times. Just use it as a damage dealer. Pop the Solar Crest on him.
X into the Shackle with the Ghost Ship. They've got an easy kill on a Quinn, and there just doesn't seem like they have an answer.
Some of the snakes are gonna die because they are close to tier 4 towers, but still they have more than enough damage. Everybody almost full HP. This Pipe keeping them healthy. They need Morphling, but I don't think Morphling's fight ready at the moment.
Ice Path off the mark, that'll melt away, and so will this mid-set Arax. I mean, this has been just a one-sided affair. One good fight from Gaimin, but the rest has all been BetBoom. Quickly on their way to potentially having a 2-0 with that mid-set Arax gone at 21.5 minutes. Now they finally have this Ags from the Dawnbreaker, so maybe they can sustain in these fights, but they're behind quite a bit, and there is just so much going for the side of BetBoom. Like you said, it doesn't feel as though the Morphling is fight ready.
No, feels like he needs another item. For now, it's just going to be a Dragonlance, but we'll definitely love to have extra bit of protection. And they will take Tormentor. Save gets it. He can use the items as well, and the chickens last for 3 seconds, which is really nice. And I like that Pure recognizes that he could just straight up get damage. Like, he doesn't care about Morphling, at least not for now. Getting the Butterfly, he is playing with the disadvantage in this game, so wants to have as much damage as possible when the targets are shackled inside of the coil. He already 3-shot Maladich. Might do the same thing again. Might 2-shot him once you get that Crystallis.
Oh no. The Daedalus is ready. Could hit him once and then they'd be Daedalus. Solidifice Searing Chains, but there's the Waning Rift into the Silence. They got the Ice Path on a Pure, but the Dream Coil is going to be committed. They go to the Solar Guardian, but the damage from Pure is just overwhelming to Quinn. They will take on the Aegis, but now, I mean, just the Aegis is not enough. They'll start to back away, but GPK right into their face. He'll Yules up into the air to make sure that he's not affected much by that Orchid. Mega kill streak for GPK.
Watson is hexed.
Wards are going to be committed. Watson's gone. They'll face this Dawnbreaker. Ace on the run. This should be another team wipe for them if they can get around on Tofu, and they will. It's a 5-for-0 that favors BetBoom, and it is just all been downhill for Gaimin Gladiators.
Oh man, if one of the wisest person we have in the scene would call this Gaimin level shellacking, because this is just brutal to watch. They just can't get a single kill. Sure, you managed to kill Temporal Assassin with Aegis, but they're going for the end. They're going for the tier 4s. They're not messing around.
Yeah, why not? Getting schlacked pretty hard.
I don't think they have the damage to finish off the game immediately, because there's still a tier 2 tower bottom, tier 2 tower top. It was definitely Pure's call. If somebody made that call, it was definitely him.
End. Very fast Daedalus. Now after picking up the pipe, the Blade Mail, it's no longer the Crimson, but almost the Ags for Miero.
Yeah, I like that more. He had that Ag Scepter as his first/second item, if you count in the Blade Mail. But I wanted to see the pipe immediately. It's better overall item, gives you more tankiness when you do the numbers. And second Ghost Ship also is going to be pretty good. And look at this. 6.5 minutes faster than the average.
640 and
7 minutes when you round it up.
Almost 10.
Basically 10, yeah.
He had this item at the beginning of the game.
Oh, can they get this kill in bottom lane?
They'll try. This would be huge.
Will.
Pure out and alone. That's a bit nasty there to kill off Pure, but GPK going around. Now they found Watson. He's hexed. The Shackle, the Dream Coil, and a kill for GPK. If you get Pure, the problem is you still got GPK popping off. He's 12, 1, and 11. The guy doesn't have an off switch. Chaotic Offering with the Fatal Bonds comes in, and they've got Miero here too. GPK with another kill. Ghost Ship flies in, pulls him back
with the X.
Oh man! And now they'll find Quinn. He's dead too. Ultra kill for GPK.
Oh man, what a team! BetBoom bringing in 4 heroes, still managing to take that fight without Pure, who's the biggest damage dealer pretty much in the team. But in this one, GPK is going to be the one stepping up. Parasma, Yule Scepter, Blink Dagger, Shard, and also has Kaya. We called him yesterday, godlike puck comrade. Every single time this guy plays the hero, he just completely owns, dying once, maybe twice, but that's about it. You said prior to the previous series, prior to the grind finals, he did die like 3 times in 5 games.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. You're always good with those acronyms. The best I could come up with is godlike player killer.
Yeah, that's a good one as well.
It's, you know, I try to keep up with you sometimes.
Because I always say that you gotta keep it up.
Yeah. Every day, 50,000 times a day.
It's an internal joke.
Dream Coil placed down onto the Venomancer, and he's
gonna be fine. No, but I always gotta ask you, if you're keeping it up, and you're like, yeah,
keeping it up.
Keeping it up. Are you sure? You're like, yeah,
think so.
Gotta check up on you. This game looks completely cooked. Unless Morphling can get some big damage. Problem is he's playing into Silence, he's playing into Trap Silence, playing into like control from Shadow Shaman. Save has been all over the place. He's been involved in 25 kills out of 34.
Damn. They're smoked up, but where do you go? I mean, this is what? To get some vision down, but it doesn't feel like you can win a fight. 0, 11, and 10 for Maladich. Tofu 1, 7, and 2, only involved in 3 of the 10. I mean, Maladich has been involved in all 10 kills, 100% kill participation. It's just Gaimin aren't getting a lot of them. Tofu trying to swipe, and he might be in trouble because this isn't going to be an easy kill for him at all. If he wanted to get anything from it, he had no chance to get the kill once the TPs came over. And then GPK has just been bullying Tofu. It's the rough life. Blink Hex, Serpent Words to block the path. A big 1,000 damage crit there from Pure.
Sitting underneath the trap, immediately save. Very quick with the initiation at the right time as well, at the right place. Let's see, they are pinging the high ground. Roshan may be alive in the top pit. It's gonna take another minute or so. But it seems like they don't need it. They feel like they don't, and that's gonna be the last glyph for Gaimin.
Quinn's got an amplified damage. Ooh, I hear maybe the Kaori happening. No, he's holding onto the Chaotic Offering, not just using it to go for a tier 3. Ice Path.
Scouting things out in the back lines. GPK making sure that Pure can get the damage in, that he can kill these barracks.
Maladich hit with that X and pulled back, but nobody making the dive in. And they'll back up as there's about 10 seconds, 5 seconds, I believe, on that clock on Roche.
Let's see how Gaimin approaches this one, whether they're going to be able to fight. Because if you let TA get that Aegis, you're pretty much cooked. So I want to see them smoke up, try to get the fight going, because if you don't, you're playing into 2 lives on TA, and they're going to get that roar. And they will D-ward. There's Sentry and Obs in that sneaky spot. Miero with the gem.
Here they go. Macropire, Dream Coil coming through. Now they've got the Hex. It's on a Watson. Sword Guardian from Ace. Miero getting a little low, but they already took out Maladich with the BKB being popped by Watson. The chase is on. The Starbreaker doesn't matter. Ace is going to be silenced up thanks to the trap coming down from Pure. He's already working with an Aegis. They've got 2 heroes out of the side of Gaimin Gladiators that both have buyback. X pulling back Quinn, chasing after Miero, but they hit the shack on a Watson. It's Pure with a double kill. GPK beyond Godlike taking out Tofu, and they call GG. BetBoom have a 2-0 lead in this grand final as we will go into game 3. But man, this was ultimate domination from BetBoom.
For Gaimin, they need to figure out how to deal with these aggressive.
Thank you very much. Coming in to this 3rd game, Pure getting away with that rage as we start this one off for game 3, a potential 3-0 here for BetBoom, but Gaimin Gladiators trying to do everything that they can to hold that one off. And it is currently just 3 bounty runes were picked up by the side of Gaimin Gladiators to start, and we do see this Leshrac Batrider lane mid. When we saw GBK on the Leshrac, he absolutely dominated the game, but he should know the matchup here when he's playing this Batrider, right?
Yeah, he should. We saw him play it once. There were only 4 core Batriders. By core, I mean mid Batriders so far in the tournament. 75% win rate from these mid Batriders. The only one who did lose was PP. And let's see, GPK. There's gonna be, like, this lane is just insane. You make one bad play, like you stay long enough for him to stack maybe 1 extra napalm stack on you, and you might just die because of it. You do have damage. Like, this is definitely going to be a lane. We saw him game 1, game 2, pushing the limits of the heroes when they played it against each other, and I'm expecting to see the same thing. This Diabolic Edict might make the difference. He's also playing with Misanthropy, so dealing more damage, but doesn't deal damage to buildings. Even though we saw some mid Lashracks still going for it, we also saw carry Lashrack that BetBoom did pull off.
Pure taking a lot of damage up top.
He's struggling a little bit.
And he is definitely struggling. The one thing that there is to really talk about, I would say, with this lifesteal is the fact that so many teams have tried to not go up against it, as Pure, oof, again, almost dying the Shadow Word, giving him enough life to survive. But man, their teams really don't want to give him this hero. He has played so well with lifestealer every single time.
Yeah, he's had great success. He did win 6 out of 7 games, 85% win rate on that hero. And they're doing a very good job in this top lane, making sure that he's staying low enough so that he can get close. Maybe with the next Shadow Word, he's gonna be fine, but he also doesn't have much mana to work with. Kateomi using all of his mana early on to try to heal him up. He also TP'd to a lane. This lane is not gonna go well, so he's gonna need to be in recovery mode. GPK, we saw him do well pretty much in every single game that he did play. High MVP of the tournament pretty much so far.
That with save, but I feel like save is just so consistent, where this is just an outstanding performance from GPK if you had to pick one. And every single game it feels like he is going godlike or something of the like. I mean, that is that last game was certainly one of those games on that puck. Here with this Bat Rider, top. They look over at Tofu, another Bramble Maze placed down. We'll pick up that Lotus at 3 minutes. And early on, you look at the CS difference, and it is all favoring Gaimin Gladiators. Shadow Realm strike from a distance, but the Shadow Word still healing him up. This should be first blood and will be.
Oh, great start for Gaimin. It's almost a 2k gold lead. And there it is. I love the build on Abaddon. One null talisman, that's exactly what you need. Tofu's gonna chase him down. Bramble's gonna connect. This lane, I think it might have been better if they just died straight away, seeing what happened in this lane afterwards. They're gonna need to have some really good time fixing it. They need to make some moves, try to shut down Watson. We saw Watson on Temporal Assassin. If he's off to a good start, that he can take over the game, and so far he's doing really well. And not just that, but also the offlane is popping off. This type of a lineup from Gaimin, they have a lot of sustain. We're talking about Tinker with the repair bots, you have Abaddon, you have TA with the refraction. Not sure if there's gonna be enough damage, especially at the early starts, to be able to deal with all this tankiness on Gaimin.
The tankiness on Gaimin Gladiators is certainly an issue, and maybe as time goes on, they can find that singular target pick-off with the Shadow Shaman as well as the Beastmaster. They do have a lot of pick-off potential here on BetBoom, but they kind of have to get to that timing where they're able to really utilize it. Pure's going after Ace. Shadow Realm goes into the Rage, now starting to back the other way. The Shadow Word is healing him up a little bit, but now the focus is on Aketomi for a second, but he gets under the tower this time.
And also Orb of Frost, reducing the amount of heal. You're playing against Lifestealer, so Ghoul Frenzy / Open Wounds. Like, you're not lifestealing as much with the Feast, with the Shadow Word. And now that has been upgraded, considering that he's having that good of a start. Orb of Corrosion and level 2 Curse of Avernus. It is a lot of damage over time, plus also that heal reduction.
Ace not working with a lot of health, but has a Photic Shield if need be. Should otherwise be fine in this lane. Has sustain and some help. Diabolic Edict, but then backing away. GPK, he is 23-2 compared to the 31-9 from Quinn. But now again, Shackles from save. They've also got the Hex. These repair bots are down. The chase is on, and that is going to be a kill here on to save. They look over at Miero, and for the moment, everything is just going Millhouse for the side of Gaimin Gladiators.
Top lane's not going to be able to do much. They got no kills, which means Black Grimoire is not going to be like slightly earlier when you might need it. It needs to be GPK. And let's see how he's going to approach this one. Quinn really pushing the limits. Save again with the TP rotation to the mid lane, making sure that he's going to try to secure this rune for GPK. Feels like this is something that they do need. And
Haste
he's going to pick up the Haste.
Probably one
a
of the
big
best runes for him at this moment.
If he can get level 6, needs one creep, and he's trying to go for it.
Just trying to go in and grab this kill on a Quinn. And
doesn't even need it.
Yeah, that was the exact rune he wanted. Ace, he'll end up dying to Katomi, and Tofu just couldn't help enough. So Pure also even throwing the tip onto this Abaddon. It's still a 2,000 net worth lead here for Gaimin Gladiators, but some of the success is showing from BetBoom Team as they turn some of these lanes around. But overall, it feels really good for the Radiant.
It really does. They had a good start, but this Haste rune really flipping this matchup in the mid lane allows him to not even use Flaming Lasso. GPK was thinking about using the Lasso. He was one creep away from level 6, and now he's level 7. So Sticking a Palm, not maxed out yet. He is playing with Arsonist Facet, which means that there is another level to it.
Could hit that 7-minute mark. You pick up that Shrine for save. Then maybe he makes the move over. You lasso, pull in Quinn into a Hex Shackle. Certainly a way to get an easy kill over in that mid lane if he wants to go that way. But the TP save towards top. Bramble Maze, he'll navigate it. Curse Crown, though, means he's not really going to be able to add anything to this.
He's not going to be able to use the shackles. Nice play from Tofu.
Yeah, kind of being patient on that Curse Crown where it could have been thrown elsewhere, but waiting for the Shadow Shaman to kind of show himself. With that, though, both supports, they're starting to rotate over towards mid, and Quinn needs to be careful. That's left Miero alone, who theoretically shouldn't die with the fact that there really isn't any lockdown in this lane. They'll give him some time to get himself to 6, and there it is. Fatal Bonds, that'll turn into having that lasso, and with the Hex, it's a simple kill for BetBoom.
They need these type of kills, and suddenly the game is pretty even. GPK did give Bottle to Kataomi, who's going to get that region. Would not expect this one to happen, but they do have Golem ready.
Yeah,
Ace
he's got
still level
6.
5. They want to drop this one. BetBoom bringing in numbers again.
Chaotic Offering, a Photic Shield was used, and he is going to be hit with that Flame Break. They get the kill on Ace. The Bramble Maze is down, saves in a bad spot. Shadow Realm Strike, but the Infest save is there. Kataomi under the tower, taking some shots, but GPK is going to die to Quinn, who has some big damage there with the Diabolic Edict. This Golem not hitting anything. It's just kind of walking at these heroes. They don't really have the initial turnaround. They'll pop out of the Infest, but nobody chasing any further to try and go for save.
It was a nice play there from BetBoom, going behind the tower, killing Abba, who is still level 5. But Quinn did respawn since they killed him in the mid lane, which is going to allow him to get the double kill. Exactly what he needed. He needs to have a good game. And so is Watson, who is on top of the network right now in this bottom lane. Save needs to be careful. You get caught by one of the Brambles. Flame Break's going to push him away. Still, Diabolic Edict.
Not enough, yeah. And GPK is just in too far. He tries to play aggressive, but we have talked about how quick the damage comes from Leshrac. Miero will use that roar, but Tofu's level 6. Now you've got the Terrorize. Watson's still alive.
Multiple traps in this lane.
Miero's gonna die. From mid to bot, Tofu being a big help to get these heroes even more gold and an injection of an advantage.
And he also has Urn. They also have Big Lotus. By big, I mean mid Lotus at the moment. Can't have the Big Lotus at this stage of the game. Templar Assassin, extra 400 HP could make the difference. They have Urn of Shadows. They're going to be staying pretty much full HP all the time. These heroes, we already said, are very difficult to kill. You overextend, one Aphotic Shield comes through, Terrorize, Repair Bots, which are maxed out now. Going to be a good amount of healing. And Maladich, he just needs a recipe, and he's going to have that Holy Locket. Not an easy game for BetBoom by any means. We'll see. Next two fights, if they lose them, Gaimin will take control over pretty much the whole map. With the damage, with that DOTA, you can take over the objectives. We might see something from BetBoom. They might try to sneak in Roche. I think that could potentially be the play with Shadow Shaman, with Beastmaster and his Helm Creep. But Miero has been shut down in the lane, the lowest network core at the moment. That's where we usually see him.
Yeah, he still has Helm of the Dominator, but he needs Helm of the Overlord. Borrowed time, open wounds, save coming in. Hits that Hex. They've got the Shackle. That is a kill for Pure. Getting him closer to that Relic. Still sitting at a 3,000 net worth lead, but that's, you know, the wide open lane for Watson. And truthfully, it looked and felt for a little while that after that kill mid, GPK had control of the lane. But with Quinn getting a couple, all of a sudden he's up by about 1,000 net worth over this Bat Rider.
And dying twice, that mid-death definitely felt like it was not necessary. Trying to help out save, and then getting caught. Bramble, Quinn, Blink Dagger, faster than the average. We haven't really seen much of Leshrac though.
The few times it's been mid, it's felt very strong.
Yeah, when GPK played it, I don't think he died a single time in that game. Maybe one death, but this has been the story of GPK so far at Wallachia.
Just doesn't die.
Yeah.
That being said, he has died twice in this game. Bedlam, Curse Crown, Miero in some trouble, but over mid they get the kill on a Quinn. Miero will throw out that Primal Roar. Now the Terrorize thought about, but Tofu doesn't commit to it just yet, and Watson's going to be under the tower with the help here from Maladich. He's got that defense matrix.
Can't really get close. It's way too much heal. Way too many that they do have. Holy Locket is ready with the repair bots. They will get something done from the mid lane. At least getting something. Miero, this Helm of the Overlord will be delayed by quite a big amount of time.
Safe tried to go for this.
I don't think you can. I don't think you have damage to kill these heroes at the moment, especially TA. With the refraction before Radiance, I don't think that's doable. Maybe you need Bat. But Bat is making a move on a different side. Ace, borrow time is ready.
Can't really go for that kill on Ace. He's a long kill to get when you've got the borrowed time. You're going to need the Shadow Shaman as a +1 to have that Hex as well as that Shackle while he's within the borrowed time. Maladich is going to go for the 2-camp stack. And looking at the numbers, it's 13-7. Pure. Curse Crown, and that will pop. Bedlam doesn't have Rage for 10, doesn't have anything. They just run down this Lifestealer. Wasn't really expecting that.
No, I was also not expecting him to play the bottom lane. I mean, they have very limited amount of stuns. Maybe he thought, I can Rage TP out. They don't have enough, but you also need to respect the damage from Templar Assassin. 3 points in Meld, refraction damage. Now Miero's in the bottom lane. They should be the tower for Gaimin. They are bringing in numbers.
Yeah.
Quinn, ready with the Blink Dagger. 67%. That's what Gaimin
shows up, but Quinn
have.
Primal Roar backing away. Nothing to really follow up on Miero's Roar.
No boots of speed. Let's see if he can TP out.
Oh, no. Another kill there for Quinn. Gaimin Gladiators, this is the kind of game they need to come back into this series down 2-0, but they've got to hold this lead. They get both shrines. That's going to be big experience for the supports on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. It's 2 cores that take the shrines, but you've got Maladich, who's already level 11. By the way, has more farm than Miero and is closing in on having more farm than Pure.
Yeah, I remember a couple of tournaments ago that he did pop off. Like, this is what you can do. Some of these heroes are still viable, even after the nerfs. You do kind of forget about him. But if you do get a good amount of farm, he's 3-0-6. And when he finishes off Solar Crest, Holy Locket, with the repair bots, his defense matrix gets maxed out. That's 30% status resistance plus the barrier. I'm not sure where the damage is going to be coming from, because BetBoom right now, they are very limited. Lifestealer does have Relic, but needs another 1,000 gold to finish off the Radiance. But he also can't be the only damage dealer in the team. GPK, even though after getting those 2 kills, he did get shut down. Has some stacks to fall back to, but Miero's game is completely ruined.
He has no farm at the moment from an offlaner, and you could see Pure trying to infest and look for something, but going after Ace is not an easy kill. You're not really going to find the damage there unless you can really control him and make sure that the rest of the side of Gaimin Gladiators don't come in. But Serpent Ward's committed to the top lane. Maladich, he'll throw down the repair bots, and then they should be able to get this tower with the catapult. No deny there. TP mid. And Dark Will was there. Chaotic Offering comes through.
They'll get any kind of kill they can
Flame
get.
Break, Tofu, and the Terrorize is a complete miss. But Save will get the kill on a Tofu. They'll start to take these Serpent Wards for some extra gold. They do give up that kill of Tofu. Worth 388 for Save.
Not too bad. Any kind of gold influx they can get, it's pretty good. Save, hands off keyboard. He is playing Lifestealer after all. Not many things you can do.
Not really. Handamitis for Ace. Kind of expecting this game to maybe go a little bit long. Picked that up, and now going into a Radiance. Had picked up the Orb of Corrosion before. Maybe a little bit surprising to see that Midas, but when you expect the game to kind of go 45 minutes or so,
yeah, this is also something 33 does. If he feels like he needs to go for different itemization, whether for a Blade Mail, Orchid, Octarine Core as well, lowering the cooldown with your Facet as well, could come in pretty handy. But also if you want to scale, there's always the Radiance option. And speaking of Radiance, Leicester just did finish off his. Quinn, Kaya, Arcane Rune in bottle. This could be a good fight for them. Maladich is sitting behind him, so Quinn can play very aggressive.
Watson looking for the Desolator. 1,600 gold away from that. We've talked about how these Lifestealers can do well with the Ancient Black Dragon, but he runs in
They have the
between
damage.
3 heroes.
He needs to be careful. Edict.
He is really eating a lot of damage. Bramble Maze is down. He ran into that, and
I don't think he's going to be running into that again.
nobody else was there from BetBoom that responded. Oh, okay, Pure.
Taking that pure damage from Diabolic Edict. And also Templar Assassin, even before Deso. So, like, this creep that he takes over and also creep from Beastmaster are not going to be doing much. Quinn, thinking about jumping in. He got him.
Yeah, he'll have save. This is such an easy kill. These heroes just melt.
Melt or meld?
Both.
Well, they definitely will. That is maxed out. And also Deso, once he finishes that off. Ooh, amplified damage. Who's going to pick it up? Quinn. They are controlling all the runes. All the power runes belong to Quinn. This is what you want to have on Leshrac. GPK has Pike ready.
And lasso, but look at the damage. You're lassoing somebody who's hurting you. Doesn't even have to click any buttons after that.
Kateomi tried, or at least wanted to go for Chaotic Offer and then realized that he's dead anyway. Even if he uses it, damage over time is still gonna kill him.
What's the comeback?
They managed to stabilize at 5k, even with these 2 kills that they just lost.
Is it all on Pure?
It pretty much is. We've seen him carry the games on Leicester, only losing 1 of those and played it 7 times, so we'll see if he's going to be able to replicate the same thing. Problem is they're so tanky. Tinker's becoming tankier and tankier. Has Mana Boot, so that's probably going to be Guardian Greaves as well later on. Just not sure who's going to be like, there are these auras or barriers that they need to remove. Eventually, Lifestealer can get Nullifier.
This would be a big kill. And they will find Quinn, but can they kill Quinn before anybody gets melted? They can. 500 gold again for Kateomi. They would have loved that to be on, say, GPK. But this is gold coming in for the Warlock, where he's looking to get a 4-staff. He's already got himself a Glimmer Cape. If there wasn't a Tinker in this game, we would probably be saying that Kateomi has a lot of fun. But because he's now able to be compared to the Tinker, who is giga-farmed, it's not exactly as much of a show-off.
No, definitely not. And he can do these types of plays. Seeing that there's tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, if they need to steal this rune, they can't allow Quinn to get it again.
Working on that 4-staff. Just picks up that Arcane Rune. However, it doesn't have Serpent Words. They'll go for the Tormentor top. This will be a kill for BetBoom Team. Save gets that shard. And again, having that upgrade to the foul play. He's coming towards top, but there isn't really a hero here to follow up. They have Miero, but that didn't really seem like that was going to be enough. So save TP's bottom. Looks like they'll give up this tier 1 tower. They want to take a tier 1 tower of their own. Shard helps them cut into this, and now they've got themselves the Hex. Pure moving forward, but the TPs are coming through. The upheaval is going to be committed to this. Primal Roar used very early. Watson shows up out of the fight. They're going to have the Abaddon TPing in. Will he commit to this TP? He will. So Ace commits that TP while Quinn gets a kill on a GPK. That was also nearby where this fight is going on. So they can start to drift down towards the bottom lane, and they need to leave.
They need to leave somehow. Miero, save. Seems like they're TPing out, but Tofu also has an idea. Maybe he's trying to cut them off here on this little bridge. Seems like that's going to be enough. Getting GPK. This is one of the few times where we see GPK having more than 2 deaths in a game. 4 deaths already. Not an easy game for him by any means.
What was his average? 1.6 the other day as of that point?
I believe so.
It's not like it's too crazy now, but man, this has been one of GPK's harder games
Yeah, it's 2.11 at the moment. So pretty much doubling that value.
Amplify damage top. This Radiant's almost finished for Ace. Needs 94 gold. Ooh, another amplified damage for Quinn. This has been sitting there for a couple seconds.
Radiant's bottom
Pure's going for the Ags.
We've seen it before. When it's a good game for it, he wants to lower the cooldown. It goes down to 20 seconds, wants to play slightly longer fights, have that extra bit of a damage. Doesn't disarm anymore, unfortunately. Would definitely love to have that against Templar Assassin. Blink Dagger on Miero. It's like they want to smoke. They want to be playing the pickoff game, get a kill, and then maybe try to get an objective afterwards or deal some of the damage. But it's not going to be as easy. See, Batrider, no Blink Dagger. GPK playing on a different side of the map. This is a big one if they can get him. Nice Hex.
Good job there by BetBoom Team. Miero pulls and gets that kill. 338 gold for him. And he's starting to recover. He's recovered really well because he was down there with the Tinker and now he's up there with Ace.
They will need so many items. Like him sitting the same amount of farm as GPK, you said close to Ace. I want to see what he's starting. Like, it might be a good game for Shiva's Guard because there will be good amount of healing. You're playing against Abaddon, you're playing against Tinker with the Holy Locket, repair bots. Not the usual item on a Beastmaster, but might be a good pickup in this one. And they also are going to be needing the Nullifier. Removing those barriers, removing Defense Matrix, Solar. This is very annoying to play against. And them having no abilities that go through debuff immunity, so that also means that he can always rage DP out.
As long as he doesn't soak too much damage. Quinn came towards top. The trap is down. Glimmer Cape using the trap to try and get this kill, and almost gets it. That was pretty close. Moutage not there in time to put down these Tinker bots, but using the trap to try and get that kill onto the Warlock. Still with Pure keeping up with the net worth. You never know what he's able to accomplish with this one. It's one of his best heroes.
Dragging the creep wave. This creep is pretty speedy. Almost 400 move speed, burning them down with the Radiance. When he gets out of it, also deals the damage. Pretty much one-shots the creep wave because of the Gore Storm facet.
They scanned. They know that they were there. Quinn's actually waiting for them on the other side. Might even...
It was a nice play. Showing the hero in the bottom lane. Rest of the BetBoom team is pretty much relatively close by, but also camping the gates. If they are going to be going through the twin gates, try to punish that, whoever is pushing the bottom lane. Instead, Gaimin Gladiators, they have a better option. They have an option to go for the towers. You have quite a lot of damage with this Deso and Templar Assassin. Still yet to get the Deso charge.
Yeah, he's had this Deso for a while, and the net worth has kind of stayed pretty much at 3 to 5K for a while. Gaimin Gladiators really haven't broken through this wall yet. Pure, Rage TP. Just goes all the way back to base. Now the team without him, but they kind of know the TA is there. They can't really jump Maladich with the assumption that the Templar Assassin is nearby, and still is. Miero's going to continue to farm for this BKB, almost at it. Has that recipe bought now. Shaman wants a Blink Dagger to get some initiation going. Might be able to drop Watson, but he's got an Aegis. You don't really want to try and kill him twice.
It's way too risky. With the Tinker TPing, bringing all these auras, Solar, Defense Matrix, now even Mech, plus the Holy Locket, it's way too much heal. They just need to play the longer game. They need to be able to get another round of items, try to reset. Abaddon is in no man's land. Maybe they can kill him here, but Ace blinks out of the trouble. Was way too deep in.
They are smoked.
They want to take the tower in the mid lane.
Yep.
Bringing in numbers, and let's see. Maybe they can try to catch. They're trying to punish Tinker here on the side. If he's going to be greedy, if he wants to farm another wave.
He does come
Double
over.
BKB now ready.
Batrider's not there, though, anymore. Hex hits immediately a TP from the Templar Assassin. And for Staff, the damage not enough. And an escape from Save.
Very limited lockdown. They will need some kind of a hex. They will need... Here's gonna be TPing out. Still not that much damage. Like Diabolic Edict still deals damage through debuff immunity, but not enough damage at the moment. They've been splitting the map nicely. BetBoom always doing something in the side lanes. Like even Warlock right now in the bottom lanes using Fatal Bonds, does have Glimmer, does have Force Staff. So he pushes himself out of the trouble if necessary. So far, Gaimin, they haven't been managed to punish that. And I just said that, like, they need Hex. They need these abilities to be able to get that instant initiation. Abaddon might need to get something like a Basher, but seems like he's going for a bit of a more low cooldown-oriented build, something that we said that 33 does. Just lower the cooldown on that Aphotic Shield, play the longer fights, win off of that.
GPK, he is looking very much in trouble, but the Chaotic Offering with the lasso of the BKB.
He's full HP.
Can he turn this on to Quinn? He doesn't have a lot of health on GPK. How much more can he go for? But they've got the Primal Roar to follow it up. They get the kill on him out. It's to look over for Quinn, but he's got that Aphotic Shield help from Ace. So only one kill so far. It's only onto the Tinker. They've got this Ancient Black Dragon. Throws down a Fireball. Doesn't really matter. The Cursed Crown pops on a Pure. Watson blinks back with the rest of his team. Pure still going forward. GPK, he's healing up and might be able to return to this fight with a lot more damage. Quinn doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. The Flame Break lands. They've got themselves a Circle Ward. They'll infest it on the Quinn. They've got the Fatal Bonds that hit Tofu. Tofu dies first. Quinn dies afterwards. Even with all the sustain, with the repair bots, with the Aphotic Shields, it's just not enough. BetBoom persisting in this fight.
No, this Gore Storm is dealing an insane amount of damage. He infests them. It's on a low cooldown with the Aghanim Scepter. It deals 30% of the damage of the remaining HP. And then managing to find Maladich. This is the first target you want to kill. This is also pre-Nullifier, and I think he just might be getting Nullifier plus the Radiance. Like, I don't think he's going to be disassembling Radiance in this one, but once they get to that Nullifier, it is going to be pretty insane. Removing all of these barriers, there's just so many to remove. So you can remove Dark Willow's Eul Scepter, Aphotic Shield, everything from Tinker pretty much.
It was, what, 4 Aphotic Shields in that fight, a couple more Solar Crests, just not enough. And GPK got back into the fight, the Shadow Word healing him up into a spot
really
where he felt comfortable.
Like, he get two-shotted there with the crit on Templar Assassin. He could definitely die with the Crystallis, but really pushing the limits. You can see Pure holding the game back by his good Lifestealer performance again.
Pulls the net worth to even, and kind of puts both these heroes, the Beastmaster and, well, not so much the Batrider, back into the game.
Oh,
but they are going to find this Willow.
Like, there's nobody to help him out. Completely isolated. They are starting to TP in.
Maybe they can. Immediately, Pure's like, I'm out. He TPs. Did not have the confidence, started to see these heroes pinching in, and did not want to take the chance.
Again, this is favoring BetBoom. They're waiting for the next round of items.
Yeah, they are.
Beastmaster wants AC, wants another Aura. There was a game where GPK played Batrider. He did go for AC of his own, because you do benefit from the attack speed on the Batrider with this Arsonist facet. Going for Manta style this time around.
Daedalus almost finished for the Templar Assassin. They do smoke up. Taking a look.
They saw the courier. They saw the courier.
Oh, they found him. TP in though. Primal Roar, and there's the Chaotic Offering. Borrowed Time's going to put him back towards full. He blinks away, and now they stacked all that, and they're going to lose GPK top. That's the smoke that works out for Gaimin.
And when they are making this type of a move, this is the third time GPK gets punished, where he's playing away from the team. I guess somebody needs to be showing in the lane, otherwise it's going to be slightly too obvious. Tormentor is ready. Gaimin, they can take this one.
Tormentor's ready, but the clock for Roche is like a minute away. I got 2 thumbs up for that one. I was told I was correct.
We did struggle.
It only took me to the grand finals to get that clock right.
A 9-day event. Plus all the events before this one. Still dealing good amount of damage. Ancient Black Dragon. Maladich will deny the tower. But still, they will have this part of the map open. So they will only be able to TP to a tier 3 towers. Roshan's not allowed yet. About to respawn. I would also be fine if Pure gets Nullifier and then still goes back to Radiance. Maybe he's just valuing the Radiance for the farm speed, but if they feel like they need it, he could also be buying Helm of the Iron Will, then disassemble it in the fight if they really need it to dispel, and still go back for Radiance.
With that kill in GPK, as well as getting that Tormentor, they went from that 1,000 net worth lead to getting it back to the 6,000 that they were at before.
Croaker?
You mean Pure? He is in this Croaker, taking some big damage numbers, but not a lot yet to get this kill. Ace was on him, Flame Break pushes him, but he's got borrowed time, or does he? He ends up dead, and
He got broken, level 15.
he ends up dying here as Ace, he doesn't have buyback, so GPK moves in. Flame Break a little bit late, he's still just moving on forward with the help of the Infest coming through from this Lifestealer.
I guess he did not
Shadow
count this
Shaman
one in.
just hit that 15 recently, and the Hex breaks.
So he broke him and they killed him off instantly. Roshan is alive. There is no buyback available on ABBA. He did go for Octarine Core, fully invested.
That's a
Now the full wraparound.
Wow.
Let's see how they're going to approach it. They want to climb the high ground. Save. Can he catch him?
GPK,
Watson,
Flame Break.
no BKB.
There's the last
Everything
of the
on him.
Terrorize. They got Tofu, the look for Watson, the Force Staff. He has nowhere to go. No place to move around, and now it's all on Roche.
This is a game-breaking moment, pretty much. Save that Hex on Abaddon, and now also getting another initiation on Templar Assassin. There's no way to save him, and they're getting even more items. The Nullifier pretty much is on its way.
Getting this Aegis, taking a fight. They're really taking it in. It is a breath of fresh air here for BetBoom in this game. And now they're working with this Aegis, and they've got the AC also picked up from Miero. There's still certainly a lot of damage coming from
look
the
at
side
these
of Gaimin with
newbie
this
numbers.
track too.
3 seconds slower than average.
Disappointing.
Very
Could have added at
disappointing. He
33,
managed to
52.
pull it back in this game. Did die 3 times in the laning stage. Got focused pretty heavily. But Miero, now top 3. Pretty much has the same amount of farm as Lifestealer. They've been struggling to deal with this Lifestealer going in. Infested in a creep. They cut the creep wave so many times. Always making some kind of a play. There's no BKB piercing abilities as well, so that's going to be like how close he actually has the Hex. So this is pretty big. If they can surprise him, problem is now that he has Aegis. So he needs to be slightly more careful.
Smoke up from Gaimin as 3.
Radiant are scanning.
Tinker can kind of be there at any time. The scan connects. They know where they're at. They at least know something's over there.
This Hex could be pretty big.
If they could start out the fight, he's got a blink, so he can surprise them, but unfortunately, they're just a little bit too slow to the party. The call time was 35 minutes. They show up a little bit late, and everybody's gone.
Radiant are scanning.
All heroes out of there for the side of BetBoom, and Tinker pushing bottom. He'll try to get out, but they have the Hex, and he is all alone, and these shackles are more than long enough to get this kill onto the Tinker. He's dead for 100 seconds.
Oh, disadvantage this gaming did have. They just couldn't put it to a good use.
Got it back into a 1,000 net worth lead for BetBoom.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
is under attack.
they're going to start to push the high ground in the bottom lane. They drop those Serpent Wards. Chaotic Offering even committed.
They're going for the mid lane. AC, Shadow Shaman wards at the bottom.
They want to
Double
end this
catapult.
with
This
this
is
Aegis.
35-minute wave. With banner, and now the split push is coming out.
First
What a
round,
play
but
from
Rage.
BetBoom, splitting them into 2 different directions, and might get both of them actually. Tinker has no buyback.
They could force him into a bad fight too. They
Now
do
he
not have
does.
this Tinker, but now he's got buyback. The Glyph is available and they'll use it. Flame Break though, thinking about it, but uses that BKB. GBK gonna retreat on this one. But BetBoom, they're not fully back just yet. Maybe they're looking for their way in.
It might be a time to reset.
Yeah.
Getting the Tinker buyback. This is pretty big, what he brings to the table, but there is Nullifier now on Lifestealer. There's a reason why they wanted to get lifesteal pretty much in every single game possible. Having a good read, and Pure bringing it back with this lifesteal one more time. 75% win rate.
Has himself enough gold for that
Chance
basher,
to win
too.
this game, not a win rate, but whatever. But I would say that let's check what their win rate was so far in the tournament.
It says 75-25, but
It
this
says-
feels like it's one fight away.
70% win rate for BetBoom Team so far in the tournament. Wasn't too... The lie that I said wasn't even too far away
No,
from
it
the
wasn't.
truth.
I think the shocking thing is, Gaimin Gladiators are what, 12-1 coming into this series? They've been so dominant. They just have not been able to find much success in this BO5. Quinn, though, going over. He's got that Hex. Looks for the stump of the nullifier.
force
It's onto
staff.
him. Pure taking some damage, but still running forward. They've got the Primal Ward's going to be on the watch.
He's
Here comes
in.
the
Pure
BKB, the
wants
force
him.
staff going away. GPK looking for an answer, but he's going to be silenced for a second. Hits that last one of the Templar Assassin. The BKB's running out in a second. Then the damage can be thrown over from the TA. They're also going to have Ace to try and hit him up with that defense matrix as
GPK's
well as the
hasted,
Aphotic
thinking about
shield.
going in.
They got the Aegis out of the hands of Pure. They'll get the kill to save the look over Miero. They're taking the Beastmaster, but they'll end up losing Watson. Now Pure's got to fight back. However, he's
Can he
locked
get
down
clean
and
fast?
killed.
He can.
3 heroes gone. Ketu is going to be next. He's trying to get out of the high ground, but the Curse Crown is there. The control with the Yules, and that is a dead Warlock. A big fight here for Gaimin Gladiators. They do lose Watson, but they come out ahead.
And that's a fight without using any of the buybacks on their side. Getting into the fight did split. You could see Lashrak finally getting the damage in, so goes for Templar Assassin, because Pure really wanted to kill Lash, but needed extra bit of a lockdown. Nobody else was able to get anything on top of him. So he chased him down. His rage did run out. And also Abaddon, killing 4 Aphotic shields in the previous fight, 5 missed coils.
Really helping out. Him and Melodic came over to try and help Watson, who survives here, Force Staff onto the other side of these Serpent Wards.
Yeah, they were focusing different targets. Watson, because Pure was not focusing him down, did manage to survive long enough, but they still get killed in the end. And then there's the amplified damage. Not sure who even picked it up. It was Miero who got it, but them
Nice
fighting
quickly.
close to the Abaddon with the Aphotic shields, with the heals and everything. You can see Tinker repair bots keeping him alive long enough just so that they can get stuff done. And then Ace shows up full HP, and that fight is over.
No buybacks expended from the side of BetBoom in that loss of a fight. They're still the ones at least leading when it comes to the map, but that goes back to the net worth lead here for Gaimin Gladiators. BKB picked up for Lifestealer. He wants to have that extra time in between rages to survive in this fight.
It is 21 seconds of debuff immunity if he doesn't overlap it. Plus, then you can get another one slightly later. It is a 9-second BKB. It's going to be extended by extra 2 seconds once he gets Rage level 25 talent. But I also like what I'm seeing on Quinn. He wants Refresher. If he can get that double Hex, knowing that they don't have too many saves. They have like a Force Staff, Glimmer Caves, these type of items. But if they have Vision, and they should be having Vision, because Dark Willow does have Gem, they could lock onto a Lifestealer and kill him.
Getting that gem back from that fight.
5.6 second Hex could mean a lot if you can get to the Refresher.
They know this is Pure. And you look at the damage that he's taking.
That's
He
level
needs to
25
back
left.
away. Yeah, the damage is a bit overwhelming to force that BKB from Pure. Not the way he'd like to use that BKB, but kind of playing a little bit lackadaisical over mid. Just gets seen and it sticks around for a second, but
The only thing that Pure is afraid of is pure damage from Lashrak. Those explosions, level 25.
there's the lasso. Can they get the kill on a Queen before this all pops off? They go to the Chaotic Offering. They've got themselves the Fatal Buds. Quinn's going to be dead, but he's going to buy back immediately.
Tofu,
now, Ace
also
on
dead.
the side. They get the kill on a Tofu. He's got buyback, but does he want to come back into the fight? Lashrak will get there in a second, but things aren't popping off as much as they were in the beginning of that fight. Now that Quinn has to re-enter.
They're trying to reset, but also trying to make something happen. This was also a pretty late Blink Dagger picked up by GPK. I'm not sure if they saw that he does have Blink Dagger, so he dragged him away with the Pike and with the Blink Dagger away from a fight. Roar comes onto the Abaddon so that he can't follow. He can't get the Aphotic Shield. He can't dispel it. That was such a clutch play from BetBoom Team.
How is this clock working? Ooh, quick spawn. It's 5 seconds away.
Yeah, it's going to be probably more than 5, more like 15. We're waiting. We're looking at the clock top.
Just give me 2 thumbs up. Come on. Please.
It's always delayed.
Yeah, you know, it's back though. And they see it. Quinn buying back is a massive blow here to the offerings
It's
of
a big
Gaimin
one.
Gladiators in the team fight, but they're the ones who are sneaking over to Roche with this smoke.
Trying to use this opportunity, knowing that 2 supports don't have their ultis available. It's a lot of damage. This Roche goes down so quickly. BetBoom, third.
Cure is too late. They need
Damage
to go
has
in
been
now.
done. Somebody needs to go in. They're
Illusion
scouting
is
things out.
there.
GPK made the
try
slot.
the flame break. Oh, the Aegis was picked up by Quinn in time, but he picks up the refresher shard. Maybe he can
And
survive.
Cheese eats the
Force
cheese.
Staff and the cheese. He's ethereal and will get away, but save gonna be really chunked out by Quinn. And now Niero, he's gone to the other side. He looks over at Maladich. They're gonna refresh on GPK. He's got this BKB, but Pure moving
That's
forward. They've got the
another
freedom on top
lasso.
of these heroes, and the BKB is gonna be popped by Pure. Can he still move forward though?
Quinn is
Save's
dying.
still alive. Watson, BKB is going to run out in a moment. They took the first life out of the hands of Quinn. Can they get back in? Quinn blinks over towards where Pure was. These heroes are near.
Infest is
Pure
ready. He got
now-
silenced.
Ooh, Infest into Watson, but these heroes are taking him away from his team. He needs some help. The Terrorize connects. Pure's all alone. Where is your team? Oh, Pure dead for 100. No buyback.
Oh, this could be pretty big. And Save, he got nullified. He doesn't have foul play ready.
Weesh.
Does have buyback ready. 1,000 damage crits coming out from Templar Assassin. Finally, he has 25 talent on TA with the bash. They needed that extra bit of a control. That was a bit too much from Pure, thinking that he can go in, but they also blinked out, I believe, into the middle of 5 heroes, and the rest of the team not ready to back him up. Clutch plate, though, from GPK, going in, getting the refresher, getting the cheese, almost getting the Aegis as well.
Yeah, that flame break almost on the money. But Pure, he was in very far, and again, just kind of, he infests in, plays aggressive, but once he sees that they're infested in, they move back towards the rest of the team, and nobody from BetBoom's there. Nobody's able to respond.
Bringing it back, close to 50% win probability. Still trying to buy time as much as they can until Pure respawns. 45 seconds. It's a pretty long time. And Quinn, after dying there, he's like, refresher, this is a fine item, but I also need something else. I need something different. I need more survivability, knowing that I don't have buyback available. A lot of level 25s here. 25 on TA with that melt hit bash. Level 25 on ABBA, Mist Coil. It's 350 AoE.
He wants to get Abyssal on Ace.
Just to have more control. Lifestealer is pretty much doing all the damage, even though GPK does a lot, especially now with level 25. He has Magnifying Monocle, so that's extra bit of attack range, cast range, plus 10 stick in a palm damage from level 25 talent. Even Tinker has BKB ready. Like, they're getting bigger and bigger.
Even Tinker almost has 25 ready. He's 23. Shard for Quinn now. That's a lot of area denial in these longer fights, especially when the BKBs start to run out. You don't realize what you're standing over, and all of a sudden you're getting stunned and then deleted
That shard
at
got
Hardy
nerfed.
style by TA.
It is not 3 times anymore, it is 2 additional times. Still very strong if you're fighting in the middle of it. Does have Timeless, debuff duration, spell amplification with Pyrrhic Cloak. If you're using that on any of the heroes that don't have any kind of a dispel, they're gonna die. And there's a lot of Lincoln Spheres. Tinker wants one finished on Tofu. So no Infest potentially coming out, no Nullifier. Fights are gonna be much, much harder now for BB team.
So Lifestealer dealing with 4,200 health, now 3,500, drops down, but he has been a harder target to kill when within the rage, but when they find those intervals without him having that or the BKB, Quinn really does start to melt them. Gotta wonder if down by 10k now, and a good amount of that is Tinker, but a lot of that is also these cores ahead. Can they kind of fight back? They're trying. So our Gaimin Gladiators, they're down to their last life in this BO5. These heroes are getting closer and closer to 25. And they've got a couple there already. Beastmaster's further away from it than the Tinker is, which is a little bit of a surprise.
His is, I would say, not as impactful. Having Aurora in 30 seconds allows you to use it one more time, so it's still very good, maybe 3 times with the refresher. But some of them that they got on Gaimin are pretty massive. This level 25 Lesh that he had for quite some time now, you can feel that he can't really get too close. Oh,
Trap.
He got silenced.
Silence, Force Staff. He does have an E-Blade if need be. Flame Break thrown over, but that won't connect on anybody, and they will retreat on the side of BetBoom. Tense moments, as even with these fights that have gone the way of Gaimin, they have not broken the high ground. This high ground in the bottom lane was taken by BetBoom, what, 28 minutes in?
Yeah.
They really were pushing for an end at a certain point. Pure will spot these heroes on the side of Gaimin Gladiators, but it's really the side of Gaimin Gladiators that have them in their trap. They get the kill on a save. They look for the Terrorize, and the BKB comes through. They hit the Terrorize. The Force Staff's back. Now they're going to go to the Chaotic Offering, but they're going to melt through Kataomi, and that's going to be both supports down on the side of BetBoom. Flame Break hits Tofu. Blink away from this Bat Rider. GPK trying to get out of this. He's got Force Staff in a moment, but he's also got that Firefly, and he can get up onto the high ground away from this team.
Losing the gem there as well. This is pretty massive. Like, they're going to be outscanning. 2 supports are doing a lot more on Gaimin. You have this Tinker who provides you with pretty much every single aura, a lot of healing. There is nothing to stop the healing from going off. Another roar, but they need to fall back immediately.
Forward. He wants me arrow.
Keeping in.
BKB,
staff.
and just so much damage. Everybody's here for Gaimin. He doesn't have buyback.
Gaimin, they're ready. They're ready to push for the high ground for the first time.
Miero's short 700 gold on that buyback, and now they're going to go to the high ground. They won't have this Beastmaster for that entire time, and buyback's going to be available for Quinn in 10 seconds. The advantage has fallen all the way over to the side of Gaimin, and they are really looking to end this one. They had the Golem pushing mid, cutting this creep wave, but still, they're moving forward, and they're going to get themselves at least a set of racks. Don't commit for the full set. They take the melee racks, which is more than enough.
I'm thinking how BetBoom can pull this one back. They had it in the bag, and then one very good fight for Gaimin. Suddenly, this game completely flipped.
The net worth has skyrocketed. It's a 23,000 net worth lead. I mean, look at that graph. It was so close, and then just erupted.
There's going to be 5 Lenken spheres, pretty much. 4. Abaddon doesn't have one. Maladich, he's close to it, but saving the buyback for now.
Gaimin Gladiators showing some resilience, making sure that they're not knocked out of this 3-0. Holding on. But BetBoom, we've seen them in spots like this before where they've come back, but Gaimin, they are really, really in a great spot 50 minutes in.
Tinker just got 25 as well.
Oh boy.
Extra 10 seconds on defense matrix. They do have nullifier, but it is only one nullifier, and he can get multiple of those on different targets. 25-second duration defense matrix with 30% status assistance. This is not going to be fun to play against.
Lasts longer than the cooldown.
Dire are scanning.
It's crazy work. Divine Rapier for Pure. Is that going to be enough damage?
This might be it. Like we saw, like, I think he understands that he needs to deal the damage. Like he needs to go in and try to kill off people immediately. I would not be surprised if he also just buys on this Aghanim Scepter, buys maybe one more item, try to find something, but he doesn't have enough gold right now. 2.3k for now. Divine Rapier sitting at 600 plus damage at the moment.
Yeah, and they're not going to wait for the next Roche. The next Roche is about 2 minutes away, 2:10 away. There's a lot of time in between then and now.
Also got to respect the buybacks. You are taking the fight close to their base. Radiant, they know. They just scanned.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty rough. Even if they win this fight, like you said, the buybacks are available.
Validate.
Save up on the high ground. Smoke broken.
Him.
Dust used, but nobody hit by that one. The trap's going to be thrown over. They're going to find themselves saved. They've got themselves this caught Shadow Shaman, forced staff back, but he cannot survive the initial engagement. Save's going to be dead, but they'll go after Quinn. The right quick damage coming out with the Divine Rapier, but they just don't have enough. Pure, he's soloed out. Where is his help? BKB is going to be popped. Who can he go for? Where is anybody?
He's not dealing the damage.
GPK comes back in. They've got the Nullifier. They go to the Primal Roar. It's going to be on Ace and Hill Infest. Now looking over, trying to survive. Pure's dead. Divine Rapier on the deck. That's a problem. It is going to be a Divine Rapier here for Watson. Save. Oh, basically one shot.
And that just might be it. They don't have buyback available on Pure. He's struggling to deal the damage. Doesn't have infest targets onto the enemies. These multiple Lincoln Spheres are causing issues, and they should just go for the throne. Try to see if they have buybacks available. Only one on Warlock. This is 3 versus 5.
Tinker went back for a second.
Yeah, this is
Creeps
basically
pushing into the
3
base.
versus 10. Everybody has buyback available.
Or he might just go for the bounty rune. That's all they're pinging.
He needs 7 gold for buyback on Pure.
Beastmaster still down there. Tinker TPing back home. Tier 4s are going to go. Lincolns. It's a Lincoln's Park over there. Pure had the buyback. They still don't have it on save. 3-shot on a GPK who's got his own buyback. They'll go for the throne. Nullifier onto the Templar Assassin, but how do you deal with all these defense matrices?
They're trying to find something. Miero's dying, and
there's
Quinn
no
soloed.
way. Look at Pure.
Quinn
Miero,
soloed him.
gets soloed by Quinn, like you said, and he just does not have an answer. Keteomi's going to die. GG is called. They'll hold on for now. Gaimin Gladiators take game number 3, and we're going to see at least 4. Thank you very much, Sheever, coming into game number 4 here between Gaimin Gladiators and BetBoom. It is an off-lane Venge, something we haven't seen too much of this tournament, but safe lane Doom for Gaimin, which we've seen a lot coming into this grand final. They go back to the Tinker, and this is something that showed off in the last game.
It really did. I mean, they had a lot of success with this carry Doom. This Vengeful Spirit last pick, I feel like this is pretty much what's going to cause the game to be much more difficult for BetBoom, because it's great against Lasso, it's great against swapping the Monkey King out of Wukongs. You have BKB Piercing Tool against the Lifestealer, great against swapping the target that Axe initiates on. The question is how much farm you're going to be getting. It is going to be 2 range heroes into the Lifestealer. We saw them taking a fight in the previous game where Lifestealer couldn't really do much. Like, they were forced to TP with Warlock, and this time I don't want to see him lose that much HP at the start. I want to see him start with the full HP. He's playing with the Silencer. We saw very hot and cold Silencer performances. We saw one game where it was Team Spirit with Poshka completely dominating, moving from lane to lane. This is not the most killer threat lane. Like, you have Lifestealer in the lane. He does pretty much nothing other than the right click. So I want to see if it's going to be him rotating to the other lanes, making the moves. GPK is playing his Monkey King, so he can make rotations as well. Or if it's going to be save, maybe trying to go for some of these sneaky rotations when Axe is creep skipping, what he's going for the jungle as well, farming in the triangle.
Some white noise gone as they restarted their TeamSpeak. You a TeamSpeak guy?
I was, yeah, back in 2011 or something.
You weren't part of the raid call, Ventrilo?
Yeah, we used
Skype.
everything, Skype, Ventrilo. Then we started using Discord. Now don't use anything. I don't want to talk to people, just kidding.
You don't even answer my calls on Discord.
When did you call? You answer my calls.
Oh, instant.
Yeah, when I call you on WhatsApp, 5 a.m., we're playing some MTG. I'm like, I need to know this interaction. Yeah, what is this mechanic? I need an explanation. AI can't give me the answer. And then you call your friend Zach, who gives us the explanation. So we have to wait there, sit there, chat for like 15, 20 minutes to be able to get the answer so we can continue with the game.
I find out how your day is while I'm waiting for Zach to answer me. Speaking of how your day is, how is your day, chat? I can't see you right now, but you know, I assume you're
pretty
all
good.
saying
It's
pretty good.
not a 3-0, I would say. I think chat is very pleased with that one.
Yeah, I will, you know, you always want the most DOTA possible. Why not get the most DOTA possible? We've seen it a couple times between you and me. The 2-0 immediate lead, and then all of a sudden, things click for the team that's down to their last life, and then you get into that situation where you're at
yeah. All of these Dota players, all of the watchers, all of the viewers, they want to see the most Dota because they invested a lot of money in this, playing the free game, watching the free stream, you know.
Got to get your money's worth.
Yeah, exactly.
And that only happens if you go 5 games.
And that's what we want to see.
2 bounties apiece. BetBoom probably don't want to see 5 games as they've had this 2-0 lead, but then lost game 3. And now hoping to close it out in game number 4, but gaming it the other way, of course. And this kind of starts from the mid lane. It's something the panel was talking about. But does this matchup change much when the changes to Jostling Rift other than the curveball here for a puck?
Maybe Quinn is thinking differently in this matchup. It allows you to use Wanning Rift to either get out of the trouble. You can pull somebody in, you can push somebody out, which might be really good against Monkey King. So he might not get that Jingu that he wants. He might not get that last hit that is going to turn this matchup around, and we'll have to see. GPK, we saw him do really well every single time that he plays Monkey King, especially in a matchup that he should be winning. Last matchup that they played was a very interesting one, not the one that we see every day. We saw 5 Batriders so far in the mid lane, not too many last tracks, even though we saw him from the mid lane. He was the one who played it. They also ran it as a carry. And GPK immediately starting to play a little bit more aggressive. I think the big focus is going to be on this top lane, how much they're going to be able to punish Pure. This is not an easy lifesteal lane to begin with. You are playing into minus armor, Vengeful Spirit, like you build pretty much in the raid band, double raid band, into power treads, then straight into the Ags. And also Silencer is not the best support to deal with these two heroes, and also lifesteal doesn't provide you with much damage. It's not a killer lane by any means.
It's Kataomi who's gone first level into the Glaives, and then when Arcane Curse now, he was trying to harass with those Glaives, but I mean, Tofu's just kind of standing his ground. Pure actually took a good amount of damage from that minus armor as well as the Shadow Realm strike, so Pure definitely needs to be careful. Wave of Terror flies through, and there's that Shadow Realm combo. It's just not a lot of damage, but it's definitely something to keep them low. Watson, he's in trouble, chased up, Battle Hunger. There's First Bloods for safe.
A lot of damage over time.
Ooh, kill there on a Tofu coming in from Kathomi, and Pure still alive. Again, trying to get this kill into the lifestealer, but already starting a lot better this game than last for BetBoom.
Not sure what happened there. I guess he got hit multiple times by Glaze and didn't have enough mana to use Shadow Realm. And the bottom lane, a lot of damage over time, using this opportunity that there was no March of the Machines ready. It's a 35-second cooldown ability at level 1. He used it. It's a lot of damage on the ground, so if they initiate onto Watson, they can try to turn the fight around with the Scorched Earth for now. He does have Mana Burn, and he does have Mana Aura on Doom, so that's pretty big, meaning that Axe is not the most important guy to Mana Burn in the lane, because he can still deal damage. But Batrider can be annoying, but you're also relieving some of that pressure if he's not using the Battle Hunger.
We've seen some different skill builds on Axe. This time going 0-1-2.
Depends what you're playing against.
Right.
We saw Marcy as well. When he's paired up with Marcy, some Axes getting 1-0-1 build.
Yep.
So you can get that call immediately. Some are waiting for level 3. And now Miro's skipping, getting 2 points in counter healings, making sure that he can creep skip if necessary. He can be the one putting slightly more pressure, because knowing that he's not going to have that mana. So what's the point of having the Battle Hunger and call if you don't have enough? Good body blocks.
Body blocks are immaculate.
10.
Does he dive him under the tower? Thinks about it, but in the trees doesn't want to, and that's almost the kill on a Watson. That could have been devastating to this lane. I mean, of course, Doom is one of those heroes that really recovers. You go into the Midas, you grab yourself that Devourer, of course. But Flame Break again, Battle Hunger is there, and Watson just burns out to save for the second time. Catching them with these March of the Machines on cooldown in a spot where he's vulnerable.
Very well played from them. GPK in the mid lane. Pretty much the same amount of CS. Quinn does have Water Rune available.
Pause from Maladich. TeamSpeak. Didn't say that, but I just assume. But top lane,
Acts like this very much.
it's been pretty quiet, I would say. A little back and forth, but Watson's the one struggling the most at the moment. Of course, as a, like I said, a hero that can recover, so it's not the end of the world, but definitely don't want to be giving Batrider the quick 6, that lasso control.
This is a bit of a different Batrider than from the mid lane where you are building into Pike, BKB. We saw a relatively late Blink Dagger when they wanted to drag people away from Abaddon in the previous game. It was like 40 minutes in. Batrider from position 4, you're kind of rushing the item. And that's going to be their control, even though there is good amount of saves on their side with like Defense Matrix, Status Assistance, Swap, Terrorize as well. But if you can drag them underneath the team inside of the Wukong's command, there's a lot of BKB piercing tools in this game on BetBoom Team.
Definitely are. But we'll see how they handle it. Nace. It's just 22 and 8.
Yeah.
Not bad for him. I mean, he's got more CS right now than the Lifestealer, but just by 1. But he's
That's a
keeping
good amount
up.
of denies.
Yeah. 8 denies already. Top in the denies. Making sure that he's making Pure's life not as easy as it could be as this Lifestealer. You really don't want to give him an easy lane. One of the things that teams do well, or have done well when they've beaten BetBoom, has been shutting down Pure. And they'll go for him immediately. Throw that Shadow Realm Strike. They've got this Blood Grenade. And Pure on the run, but the Bramble Maze connects, and they'll get
Nice
this
done by
kill.
Tofu.
Well done by Tofu. And this is where it all starts. You need to be shutting down Pure to have a chance to really, especially against his Lifestealer, have a chance of this game.
He can't really square up the extra minus armor. It's -4, and then also he catches him with the nice Bramble Maze, especially at the early levels. Once you start to get more levels, it's going to be much easier. Trying to dive again, but this time Maladich will have those March ready. And this is what I think that they should do with Axe. Try to creep skip, get the most amount of farm, level 6. Try to get that level 6, maybe get some dunks going. Pike is not the easiest hero to kill in the mid lane. Amplify damage is ready on Monkey King. Save is coming. Maybe with a nice Flame Break, they could be able to get something done. Quinn.
There
See that
is
Flame
the
Break.
Illusory Orb. Flame Break ready. Pushes him back. Thinking about the Boundless Strike. Lands that. And then save. Now already on a killing spree. Getting the kill on a Quinn. Tofu fighting back on Pure. Arcane Curse on a 2.
Save is always ready. All 4 games so far, every single time, 6 minutes in, he's ready to help out GPK. And now GPK teeping to the mid lane. This is the big maneuver if they can execute it. Ace, level
One
4,
grenade.
Bramble is ready.
Good Bramble. Good Bramble. Stops GPK from going forward. He is level 6. Does have access to the Wukong's command. Just making sure that they don't end up dead there in that top lane. They can sustain. They can go for that 7-minute Wisdom Shrine. Because if he gets those kills there, if he starts a fight behind the tier 1 tower, your Shrine's probably gone too.
Yeah, if you get that kill. But also Quinn was ready to TP in. He has Coil ready because they killed him. Same thing happened in the previous game, which kind of set them back by good 2k. Pure. A little bit of harassment, trying to bait Rage out of him. Kataomi. And there's save rotation, something we said. They might be getting good amount of kills from this top lane. Trying to TP out. There's nothing to stop it with. No stuns unless you bring Monkey King, unless you bring Axe.
The lack of stuns is a little concerning. It gets better with the level 6 on the Batrider, of course, having yourself that lasso. But for the most part, Gaimin, you know, these stuns aren't that low of a cooldown, right? The Balanced Strike, 15 seconds isn't terribly low. It's a decent amount of time, and maybe if you land the call, right now it's 17 at lowest 11.
So allowing them to TP out.
Yeah.
Even Dark Willow TP'd out. I'm not sure if you saw that on camera, but she got initiated on with the Flame Break, with the Firefly TP'd out. Now she needs to walk back to the lane. Malady was having a good game in the previous one on Tinker, getting good amount of farm. Right now sitting at 19 only, but eventually he's going to start to scale.
Bramble Maze connects. Maladich is here. Kathomi on the run. Laser. Thrown over on the Silencer. Pure starts to hit at the Tinker. They've got the help from Save, who's level 5, and this Magic Missile won't do much. Flame Break lands on Ace, and now the chase is there. Primal Spring, even under the tower, I don't think they'll care. They'll go for more, and GPK's got that kill.
No TP ready.
Tofu. Tofu has Shadow Realm, Arcane Curse, but still alive. Boundless Strike comes through, and Kethomi's gonna get the +1 as GPK gets a double.
All of these small items, and he's also gonna get the stack, so keeping an eye on everything. Raindrop, keeping him alive. Magic One eats the tango, finds a nice juke inside of those trees, survives, and also gets the +1.
The brain drain feels pretty good, especially when it's on the survivability right there. And then you also now have yourself in that funny Brazil scoreline, but a 7-1 early lead.
Never forget it.
It's less than 1,000 net worth lead. Obviously, you've got a Doom in the game. Things don't look too bad, especially with where Quinn's at. It's just early aggression that's succeeding here for the side of BetBoom. If they could get this kill onto Pure, which is going to be quite difficult.
He's still in it. He sees that Venge is level 5. They want to take this fight.
Ballast Strike, the lasso connects. They've got the kill on a Quinn, who was leading the charge in the net worth. But now Maladich, he's caught too. Watson's coming over. What was Watson coming for? He goes and throws a Doom onto this Lifestealer, and maybe he gets this kill, but if he loses his life, is it worth it? He comes in, Ballast Strike, GPK, does he go in? No. He doesn't want to make the dive, so this Watson move, is it going to work? Yes, with the swap, he'll have the save to stay alive.
Yeah, the barrier actually keeping him alive.
Yeah. I asked what he was coming in for, but it's a salvage of the fight. They got Pure, he threw the Doom, that ends up being really worth it.
But also a very nice move from BetBoom. Going into the enemy triangle, Pure with the Gore Storm facet, infesting that Black Dragon, trying to steal some of the stacks, and then them grabbing a fight. Maladich is in the bottom lane. This could be problematic.
Call connects, Pure is here, body blocks now to get in front of Maladich, and this should be a dunk and will be. Miero tipping Pure.
Being active on carry lifestealer. He did the same thing in the previous game where he was trying to make something happen in the bottom lane. A bit more difficult lane for him, considering that he was playing into Templar Assassin. And this time it's going to be easier for him to make these type of a plays. Even though there is Doom, there is Swap in the previous game, there were no BKB piercing tools until some later stages of the game. Watson will TP back to the bottom, try to save the tower, and will get the deny while they will get the tower in the mid lane.
Go for Maladich again, lasso, and they should have another Culling Blade and will. Miero getting a good amount of gold. He's top of the net worth by a good chunk. 5-5-5-5 for a second. The quad fives.
Very important thing to point out. And this is a game where Watson will need to recover. He is recovering slowly. Hand of Midas is finished. He can sell that Midas, get the Radiance, and then start to scale, maybe go back for it, pick up a BKB. There are good Doom targets in this game. You can use it on Lifestealer, you can use it on Monkey King. However, if you don't use it on Lifestealer, they're still going to be getting the kills from the Infest. We saw Pure going for the pretty much same item build, or opting to go for that Aghanim Scepter as fast as possible. Second item in the previous game. Lower the cooldown. Goes down to 20 seconds, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much of a Lifestealer, I would say, in the last couple of tournaments, but in this one at Wallachia, him showing that this is still a very, very good hero in the right hands.
Definitely is, and I would say even though they lost the last game, Lifestealer looked good in game number 3. They are wrapping over with Quinn, but again, just they need sustained lockdown through this rage, and it's going to be tough. They're going to need a couple of heroes to combine there. Diffusal Blade picked up for GPK. He'll have that inhibit. And then draining the mana from these heroes will certainly make life very difficult.
I think Gaming can slow things down, maybe try to get a pick off. Once you get to the Aghanim Scepter on Venge, this is when the fights become much more difficult. Sure, you still are going to struggle if they use the combo, initiate with the Blink Dagger on X, who's the most farm hero right now. We'll have that Blink Dagger in the next 300 gold. And then you can follow with the Global Silence. No swap's going to come out, no defense matrix or anything from Tinker.
Call from Miero just on the camp, just continuing to farm, stay at the top of that net worth. You got Quinn going for that Witchblade, going AVULUS next. So he wants a little bit of extra control, maybe a little extra survivability. Maladich is starting to get himself some good farm. He's got himself that holy locket.
Yeah, Yul's very good. I mean, he's not playing into too much control, but against the global silence, you might need to pick it up, and it's also great against Axe. When he jumps in, you might be able to save people. Again, Lifestealer, finding the creeps, trying to get some kind of a farm.
Say wants to survive here. He's so close to this Blink Dagger. It'll be double blink timing too. Axe and Batrider will have this blink. Maladich caught. GPK is here. Here comes Pure. Thinking about the Terrorize to save Maladich. But it won't even matter. They'll get the kill into the Tinker, and the rest of the team has to retreat away.
This is also before they showed the 2 Blink Daggers. They also have Global Silence. So I want to see another smoke from BetBoom Team to try to make something happen, because you want to get stuff done. Maybe Gaimin are not going to be expecting this type of a move, seeing that they played so aggressive, but they definitely can play much more aggressive now with the 2 Blink Daggers. It's not just the Blink, it's also Miero with the Blink, Blade Mail, and level 2 call. So that's 375 threshold. Tofu in a good spot, sensing that something is wrong.
They don't commit forward, so their smoke doesn't get broken. They might be able
want
to
the
catch
big
Quinn
one
now. Blink call, and he is in a lot of trouble. Boundless Strike, Culling Blade. There's the kill. Miero and Katomi don't get their smoke broken by Tofu on the top of the steps, and in doing so, Quinn comes back mid. They blink, they call, they kill.
Also not using Global Silence, so this should be a very... Oh, no.
Blink Lasso now. They'll catch Ace. GPK, he's kind of waiting for this
ready.
Tinker. Boundless Strike coming through into 2. There's another Culling Blade. He's going dunking.
They're not done. Tofu's also in trouble. Terrorize.
Oh, Flame Break right back. This Bedwell's not going to do anything. Waiting to have him available. There's another kill for Miero. Triple kill for the Axe. 14 coats of that blood.
They are trying to steal some of the stacks as well. Quinn, they need to try to punish this. Doom is ready.
They still have Global. Quinn has to be careful.
He's
Silence.
Ooh, Blinks
Won't
out.
be able to get it now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They still had Global if they wanted to make that move. Doom used and Rage to start. Wukong's Boundless Strike
Boundless,
connects
no
on a
coil.
Quinn. Again, no Global Silence, the dead silencer. He has buyback if they really feel it necessary to buy back and use that Doom. The coil will snap
Rage
on a
coming
save,
off
but
cooldown.
there's the infest into save to save
He wants
his
to
life.
go in. Save definitely wants to jump in. With the Global Silence. Once Silencer is up, they're making this move. Looking for the opportunity.
GPK getting focused, but they'll pop the infest. They'll think about the Terrorize, but it's just not in time. And now Quinn, Watson running, but they've got this Radiance. Global Silence is going to be started with. They got to go after Quinn. They're going to try and get the control here. They've got the blink into the call on a 2. The swap, though, saves Quinn. Not for long, though. Balance Strike comes in from GPK, who will die to Ace.
And Miero's ready for the dunks.
See ya, Ace. It's a dunk contest for Miero. He'll catch the call. It's
has
on
no
the
mana
Tinker,
for
and
these
nobody
dunks.
else is around because he is the last one alive, and he will fall to pure full team wipe for BetBoom.
They were so patient. This Lifestealer with Radiance infested into your position 4, who has a 14-minute Blink Dagger. So basically you have 2 very good vehicles for yourself in Axe, in Batrider, even Monkey King. Like, this can also work out, but they managed to disengage nicely. Big Wukong's command from GPK and big Boundless Strike, not allowing Quinn to use his coil. Kind of resets the fight immediately. And then Miero always in the back lines, and Quinn like trying to toy with them a little bit. Had Wanning Rift ready. I guess not respecting the Global Silence.
No, not respecting it. Meanwhile, there is a coil Terrorize,
big kill.
and
This is a
Miero
lot
is
of
dead.
gold.
That is so much gold. And Quinn got the kill, too.
1,300 gold. That's basically his Yule Scepter. Needs to farm 2 waves and we'll have it.
That being, you know, with all that happening, it's only a 4K lead. I mean, a fight like that, it feels like it would have broken the doors open, but I mean, it's still close. I mean, the kill score feels like it should be 8,000, 9,000.
They're getting good amount of farm. Like, if you're making a move, that also means you're not farming as much. And 66% win rate. It was pretty similar to what was happening in game number 3, but still, Gaimin managed to pull it back. They need those items.
Oh.
Hey, oh my, that's Ace's Aghanim Scepter.
Ooh.
Will not have that for almost full 2 minutes. Would definitely love to have that one. Swapping people in, and then not caring whether he dies or not.
Radiant's top tower
That feels really bad. it just lowers the impact from your offlaner so heavily for the next 2 minutes. Which does make it feel like you're just not going to fight for Gaimin as long as you don't have that Ags. And it does give the opportunity for BetBoom to go in and try and play aggressively, knowing that that Ags isn't there. That deep ward on that cliff spot, it's a nice spot for that ward, and it sees so much. It really is giving them a lot of information. Miero has to go back. He doesn't find a jump in just yet. Bramble Maze, GPK. They could follow this up with a blink call. Miero's actually looking for
He wants him.
Yeah, gets him right at the end of this Shadow Realm, so he gets hit with that into the Blade Mail and then has another dunk.
That's his BKB. 100 gold away. Quinn.
Wukong's command, silence. Quinn's in, but this Tinker, he is going to die. GPK getting the kill to pop out of the Infest. Ace, you got to remember, he just does not have this Ags. They go to the Global Silence. They look over at Quinn. Another dunk from Miero. Ace swaps for the shield.
Pure
it's only
playing his own game.
150 on the level 1, and now Watson
Another
get
team wipe.
another team wipe for BetBoom.
Oh man, they're playing it so well. At least they're gonna get something out of it. Watson killing Miero, then they're with the help of Dark Willow, I believe. Not sure what he died to.
This is Doom last
Okay, so
tick.
he was still doomed, pretty much.
Radiant's middle tower has
But
fallen.
now it's jumped into a 9,000 net worth lead.
Yeah, this is pretty massive. Aghanim Scepter was missing on Vengeful Spirit. Maybe they could have gotten something else out of it. His courier did respawn, so we'll have it for the next fight. A bit of unfortunate there. Roshan is coming to the bottom pit. No Wukong's command for 35, no global for a minute, but they will still go inside of the Roche and try to take it. Because they see, like this observer ward that you said, did show 3 heroes.
Yeah, this word is a great spot. I really love it. I'll use it in my pubs. Go for Roche. Not the quickest, but there really isn't much from the side of Gaming to try and fight back.
Quinn, Arcane Curse on him, does have Yule Scepter. Definitely needs to go back, but there's also
This Roche
another
is such a
observer
struggle.
ward. This is also such a sneaky ward, because you can't tell if, for example, Pure is playing with the creep, he killed the camp, and this ward's probably not going to get dewarded.
I don't think the other one does either. Watson trying to find farm anywhere he can. He's going into the Manta style after getting this Radiance. They do have a smoke on Dark Willow, but they really need to find such a good fight. Considering that they're working with an Aegis here on BetBoom, I don't know which fight that is unless it's a pickoff. But they have been grouped up pretty well on the side of BetBoom, and they just don't need to really split too far.
They don't. They can take these fights. They have double BKB now. They have Rage, Aegis as well, plus the Global Silence Lasso. So many BKB piercing abilities on their side. They can take it easily. Take the Tormentor, control the map. Miero is in the bottom lane. Maybe he can make a jump here.
Safe.
If Quinn goes for another wave, could be deadly for him. He could definitely solo kill him. He's waiting.
Illusory Orb doesn't jump over. Miero blinks into the creep wave to clean up some more gold, and he's looking for the shard. He's looking for the Sanjinkaya.
Not the item that we see, even though this is a very strong item on Axe, gives you mana. A lot of the times he does need that. We do see Lotus Orb a lot of the times as well.
Bramble Maze
Might decide
connects.
to swap it out if he finds the opportunity. If they're like, Doom is causing us a lot of issues.
Blink call.
Swap.
And they've got the swap. It's a level 2 now, but now they've got the Wukong's command. Ace is going to be in a lot of trouble. Maladage comes over. They'll throw the Doom out onto the Monkey King, the one who does
There's
not
no
have
damage.
that Aegis,
Lemmer
but
cape
they
on
just
him.
don't have the damage at all. They go to the Dream Code. They get the catch out of Kataomi. They look over to Miero. He's got that BKB. Pure. He's working with an Aegis, so he's in pretty deep. He's going to need some help, and Miero's looking for the blink back in, maybe into a call. He's got Blade Mail ready. Pure TP attempt out, and he is fine. They won't re-engage. They back off, and BetBoom will lose just the silencer.
Maladich TP'd in front of him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Let's see.
an
1,
interesting
2.
choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That was a I know what chat is gonna say about this one. It's gonna be something about the agent, but he thought he was gonna be able to TP out of it. Try to buy a little bit more time using Holy Locket, but it was not good enough.
Well, now they're pushing the tier 2 bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah, without Thinker, you probably can't defend this one. There is no Doom available for 60 seconds. Watson trying to play a bit of a different game with Manta style, remove the global silence, and then potentially use Purge to dispel one of his teammates as well if necessary. Could be pretty big. Also very good against Axe. There's so many things that you can dispel in this game. Great against Batrider as well. Problem is, they're going to start to scale really well, especially... Ooh, good silence. No BKB available, but they're going to get something out of this still.
Yeah, Tofu trying to battle him, but there's another Culling Blade.
bad.
How many coats of blood does that make?
29.
29. 29? I mean, that is a lot. That is just, it's the Axe show, but we see this a lot with Axes.
It's basically a free plate mail for him now, plus the extra damage that he does get from Battle Hunger.
Pure forward on this tier 2 tower. He's looking for an Ags as well. Still sitting top of the net worth. All 3 cores on BetBoom are. They have Global Silence at the ready, and it is a long time till Roche is up. But BetBoom, they lead this game by so much, it feels like the map is completely controlled by them. Another deep ward. Giving them just that crossover information that might give them a smoke spot, because maybe they smoke by the tier 3 tower, they catch a little glimpse of that. It's in a spot that might get them just the perfect amount of information that they need to play defensively. At least they're trying to farm back in here for Gaimin Gladiators. You got Quinn farming a little bit deep. You've got this Doom, of course, like we've said, with the Devour. Not holding on to that Midas anymore. Call off the mark.
Wrong number. Doesn't get him there. Miero seems like he is going to be committing with this Kaya and Sanj. It's a good item. We haven't really seen it because a lot of the times we've seen like Octarine, we've seen Lotus Orb, but it does amplify the damage on your counter. Helix gives you mana regen, gives you like the Culling Blade trash hole damage as well, so that's pretty nice.
There's that Aghanim Scepter for Lifestealer. Grouped up on the side of Gaimin Gladiators near mid for a couple of these heroes, and just taking an eye on the vision.
This is what I want to see.
And a couple more wards.
From neutral items, only one same item between 10 heroes.
It should be that way if they're all good enough, right?
Yeah, some of them are lower tier still. I think they might need to farm up some of the higher tier as well. 26 minutes in.
Gale Guards coming through. Tough Gale Guard for Ace. And he's had a tough game. Only 600 gold ahead of the Batrider.
Definitely did.
Of save.
He wants
super farmed.
He wants to dispel. He wants Manta style to remove the global silence and then try to swap people out of the trouble. But not an easy game by any means. Right now, BetBoom Team taking it slowly, waiting for Roshan to respawn. It's going to take another good 2 minutes.
And some extra time.
Oh, Pure senses something is wrong. Immediately goes back. BetBoom. Rest of the team playing on a different side of the map. They still have global silence ready if necessary. Problem is this scaling. Like, we've seen Batrider being highly contested at Wallachia for a good reason. It allows you to scale in terms of, like, I'm getting the BKB, I'm maybe getting this Aghanim Scepter, cashing 2 people off guard. And we've seen also taking third Roshan, he gets priority, he gets that double lasso, double blink BKB, 4 staff.
GPK here with the Batrider looking for the blink into the call.
Swaps things around with his itemization. Kaya for now, but instead of Kaya Sanj, he wants Kaya Yasha, which gives you almost instant call. That extra 25% cast speed is really, really good.
Call connects. Mallet Edge, Balance Strike, Blink. Even the lasso committed on this, but there is another dunk. They are still just being kind of corralled deep inside their own side of the map. They're really in some trouble. Blink call again. BKB.
Life Stealer, he's trying to TP out.
Gale Guard, another dunk. Ace has that Ags, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. He'll dunk the Ags illusion. They will lose save, but Pure, he's got Infest in just a second. Jumps over now with the blink as well as the call. It's on to Watson. He is going to buy back on Ace. But the Wukong's command coming through the Boundless Strike. It lands out of the Dark Will. They're infested inside of Watson with the BKB being popped by GPK. Can they find this kill onto Watson? They'll take out Tofu. Quinn's still alive.
Another
They call
call.
hits, but they've got another swap. They're trying to keep the Doom alive. They'll get the kill on Miero. No more dunks, but Pure still in another Boundless Strike that lands. Watson's going to be dead. Ace pop back. He might be dead again. The chase is on. Ketomi's going to be focused by Quinn, but Quinn, he does not have the damage. If GPK and Pure are going to stick around, they've got the silence on him. He's going to be infested. It doesn't
Another
matter. The Boundless Strike connects again. Ace, he'll lose that illusion. Another team wipe for BetBoom Team.
This is not just a team wipe. Ace also bought back. They killed this Vengeful Spirit 4 times. And only losing, I believe, only 2 heroes. That's pretty much it. They killed Save, and they just killed Axe, but everybody else is living.
So many dunks from Miero, looking like Mac McClung, and just dunk after dunk. I mean, he dunked Ace twice in the span of like 2 seconds.
Pure was also, like, he loves to go aggressive,
Yes.
finds the right target, finds Maladich, but these Boundless Strike completely destroy the fight. GPK having another flawless game, 3-man Boundless, allows Pure to get the kill on Watson, and then the buyback from Ace is not gonna do much. He's gonna find another 2-man Boundless, one onto the Strong Illusion, this from Vengeful Spirit, and also into the puck. They just don't have enough. Like, they're trying to... This status assistance as well that they are building into.
Starting to get loud, starting to have that emotion.
They can sense it, they can feel it. They're very close.
Yeah, they're 20,000 up, and while they're screaming, Gaimin Gladiators, they're 6 feet from the edge, and they're thinking, can we stay in this game? Oh, Boundless Strike again coming through with the help of Pure on the Infest. They'll look for Maladich, blink into the call, and they will take out the Tinker once more. Just BetBoom overwhelming Gaimin Gladiators at every step. That they are trying to find themselves at the top of these stairs for a Grand Finals championship, but BetBoom are just not letting them make any progress.
Ace also killed his own game. Like, he needs to buy back there. They need to be able to win one fight, but he also died back. Level 15 now. Still, like, close to Manta style, but not really, especially if he dies once. Quinn got shut down as well. Not having the puck performance that we usually see. Tough game for him. Playing into the Global Silence, playing into this Axe. Monkey King as well. Tough matchup for him.
Another Roshan here for BetBoom Team. Still not the quickest Roche, but it doesn't
We'll
matter.
get it eventually.
It truly does not matter. Aegis on a Pure. And he's looking for that Abyssal Blade, have that extra bit of control. But Gaimin Gladiators, there's got to be a way back in, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of copium for sure. Just
down.
I don't know how. It's a very, maybe with some swaps, but then you need to like swap Terrorize Doom type of a combo because they don't have that real follow-up when they swap somebody in. But there's also a Global Silence that you need to be afraid of. Miero with the Shield Rune has extra 1000 HP on him. Still can't get dispelled. Save, looking for the jump. They might actually catch Vengeful Spirit. They're fine with that trade.
There's the lasso in. They'll pop the Infest, the Gale Guard, the swap, but the Culling Blade is there. Miero just dunking constantly.
With level 10 talent, it gives you 9-second extra move speed, extra bit of armor. This is level 3 Culling Blade, so that's extra 30 armor that you're getting from it.
Boundless Strike again, blink call. Can you get another dunk for him? They might be able to get the kill to Quinn. They use the Global Silence. They hit the Wukong's command. It's right on top of Watson. Terrorize.
He blinked out.
Charged up, thrown out. Hits onto both the Monkey King as well as the Life Stealer. But Miero now dead. doesn't have buyback. The stun hits with the Curse Crown on a 3, but they're going to look over at Maladich. He's very far forward. Tinker's dead. Silencer in trouble. The Bedlam damage is there. Kataomi's gone, but Pure, he'll infest into GPK as that Curse Crown was about to go off, and Quinn now finds that Yules. It's on to Save, who has a BKB of his own. The balance strike and the jump forward with the shard, but can they get this puck? The look over, Save's dead. There's a swap. Quinn with the illusory orb trying to John away, but they've got themselves GPK caught and killed. It's just Pure Gaimin Gladiators. They're coming back with the roar, trying to get a full team wipe of their own. He's got the BKB ready. He's got himself an Aegis,
no mana.
but can he get away completely? Watson, Quinn on his tail, but do they want to go for more? An illusory orb and a jaunt forward. They should be right on Pure, but the blink in with the Yules. They have the control. Nobody up for a little while on the side of BetBoom, but now they've got the first life away from this life stealer. They throw down the Bramble Maze. They've got the Infernal Blade. He'll infest into Tofu. He'll Yules it up into the air, and then eventually it's going to be a pop out from Pure. Can they get the team wipe? They're going to have Silencer back into the fight. They go to the Arcane Curse. It's going to be on a 3. That slows them up, and Pure's able to get out. But now, Kataomi with the Gale Guard, not enough of a save to survive. Quinn,
GPK with the buyback.
Silencer. They'll buyback on
They
GPK.
need the stun.
TPs are long. The balance strike connects, and they've got the kill and ace. He's got an illusion to throw in a magic missile out at Pure, but it doesn't matter. He's dead again.
Oh, GPK with the buyback. Like, this is a kill that they got on Venge, but I don't think Ace cares too much about getting this trade. Very long chase, but also a very good fight overall from Gaimin. That was a minute and a half fight pretty much there. Doom did a lot. Like, he was not contested. He does have finally PAX leader aura, so that's going to be extra bit of a damage coming out from him. Level 22 as well. If you're higher level with his level pain ability, he's going to be doing that extra 25 bonus damage. We see level 23, level 22.
Now you got to wonder, can
everybody else except for Lifestealer pretty much.
Yeah, can Gaimin set up now for a kill on a GPK? He bought back. BetBoom were feeling it. We saw the emotion. They're usually pretty cool, calm, and collected in there, keeping it pretty level and tame, but they feel it a little bit too much as they get countered on that high ground attempt.
It might be time to wait for the next Roche. Very, very good fight from Gaimin.
What's the timing that Gaimin's looking for to get back in completely? Where they just, you know, it's not a pick-off and a counterplay defense here. It's them being the aggressors. It's them being the ones who get these pick-offs and kills themselves.
Not the best pick-off potential from them. Doom doesn't have a Blink Dagger. You might start with Vengeful Spirit swap into the Doom. That's your probably best play. But they're very good at counter-initiating. With some swap, with some Terrorize, Defense Matrix, Holy Locket, Guardian Greaves on your Tinker. And I like what Ace is building into. Vlad's, so you're going to be having extra damage from Vlad's, Vengeance Aura, and also Pack Leader's Aura. So even Puck's damage is going to be through the roof. And speaking of extra bit of a damage, he does have amplified damage on Puck right now. Maybe they can try to find something with it.
I think they just picked up double Abyssal on BetBoom. Yeah, Monkey King's got one, and so does the Lifestealer.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of items. Usually you don't see it as early, and usually you don't see two heroes getting it at the same time.
So even more control to go with the Balance Strike, to go with the Blink Call, Lasso. This is tough still for Gaimin, but they are pulling back a little bit.
Yeah, they disassembled both of them. Their S and Y. Seems like Pure wants to pick up Manta Style, and Monkey King still wants to go back for his S and Y. That status resistance against Doom, against some of these stuns. Could come in pretty handy. Let's see if they can find an opening here. Right now, Gaimin, they know that they need to stick together. They need to hold the hands.
They need to be one group. But the smoke was used, and they're going to come through as 5. A tree and 4 heroes.
Oh, Miero, he also has these Blood Right. Bigger AoE on call. Level 25 got nerfed. Extra. It was 100, now it's down to 85.
Still a lot at the end of the day. Maladich has been the one who's been getting caught out a little bit, and it might just be him getting tracked up here. Miero gets the Battle Hunger. They'll pop the Infest. Swap, though, from Ace. Curse Crown. That'll pop on Pure. They'll go to the Doom. It's going to be on the GPK, but the Blink into the Lasso with the BKBs being popped by both those heroes. Watson still running forward. He's very confident with this BKB still going, but it's going to end in a moment. The Dream Coil's going to be a bit of a whiff. This Doom is going to run out. GBK is going to be able to go back into the fight. Pure blink call from the arrow, but there's the Yules coming out from Quinn. Ooh, croakered a little bit. They also get the dunk on the Ace. The Illusion's going to be in trouble. The Abyssal Blade is there. They'll dunk that one as well. So Ace is dead for 48 seconds. Trying to get a bash. Boundless strike a little bit late. No call there either.
Oh, this one was close. Only losing Venge and her Aghanim Scepter Illusion. Let's see what else they can get from this. Roshan is dead. Let's see the respawn timer. Gonna be slightly more than a minute, so they need to wait it out a little bit.
Dreamcoil completely missing there.
They wanted GPK. They were not on the same page. Knowing that Doom is down, let's see how they approach this one. Pure wants to siege the high ground, has that BKB, has Rage ready. This is an 8-second BKB.
Only
So
Dark
20
Will in the accent
seconds
buybacks
of
too.
debuff immunity if he wants to use it again.
Watson not being seen. GBK on those trees. They start to retreat on BetBoom. 30 seconds till the minimum respawn timer. Still can Gaimin hold on. They lose that tier 3, but that's it so far.
We talked about Batrider scaling. He already took over Venge of Possibility by good 3,000 gold and getting closer to his Monkey King even. Monkey did use buyback.
Ags for Batrider, double lasso potential. These obs all around seeing so much. The scan connects on Gaimin. Oh boy. BetBoom have an idea, and this is about a minute 20 on the Roche with the clock that I can finally read. Trust me.
I believe you.
Right? That looks like a minute 20, right? Minute 30?
Slightly more, I would say, but you're getting there. It's gonna be Nullifier on the Lifestealer. Again, this time he will disassemble Radiance. In the previous game, he wanted to still have that damage. He did disassemble it in the end, got the Divine Rapier, but they didn't get much out of it. Now you have ways of dealing with Tinker, Defense Matrix, Solar Crest gone, Yule Scepter as well, and Dark Willow, which has been causing good amount of issues. Even in the previous fight, he got the good Yule Scepter onto the axe.
Phase shift, Illusory Orb. Miero's ready with a blink if needed, but he blinks over to the left towards his team, so they don't get a blink call, they don't get a lasso.
They will start to scale. I could also see BetBoom, like if this game goes late, have 4, maybe even like 5 refreshers potentially. These are the heroes that want to build into refreshers, and this is where the fights get slightly more difficult when you have these buybacks, these refreshers. Miero needs to be slightly more careful. He does have blink ready, and he's quick enough to blink out.
Kind of understanding where they were. They have this obs on that cliff, and they saw Quinn coming towards the mid lane. The rest of the team was smoked behind him, so they didn't quite see that, but they understood the information.
They're going in again. Save. Infested.
Looking
double lasso.
for the double lasso.
With Magnifying Monocle. Cast range as well. Mystical is ready.
Just took out the obs. They're going to see Ace. They're going to blink in the
two of them.
lasso. He got 2. But now they've got the Doom. The Balance Strike comes in with the Wukong's command. They get the kill into Tofu. They'll take out Ace. It's going to be 2 dead with the Global Science following it up. They look for Watson. They've got the Doom in trouble. The BKB will help him to get out. He gets far enough away now. But Quinn nullified.
He doesn't care. Pure's just going in. He's like, I don't care about this Doom.
Balance Strike connects on the illusion. There's the swap, but it won't matter. And they will take Ace's illusion, infest back into GPK.
Oh man, this is such a clutch initiation from Save. Save Batrider, one of the classics as well. What is that in the Roche pit as well? Blood grenade. Casually sitting there. GPK is gonna ping it out. Hero needs to be careful. Very low on HP. Will TP out.
Yeah, Save 23 assists, by the way. He has been on point. So has Monkey King, 10-2 and 22. Still, again, not the quickest rush. We said we were getting there last time. This time, still not that fast.
And his buyback did reset. If GPK dies, he's going to be able to... Like, he's going to be dead for a really long time. This is almost like full 2 minutes we're talking about. Refresher for now. It's just going to be GPK. Roshan's banner still inside the pit. Not an easy fight. Like, they get the initiation. I also like that Kateomi is really holding this global silence until slightly later they know with the Wukong's command, double lasso, they can get the kills, and GPK hits 25 off of this XP rune. This is the big one. This is one of the best level 25s in the game.
Especially for sieging, right?
Yeah, what it gives you when you're trying to go for the high ground is just way too good. First one, then you have a BKB, double boundless, double BKB, even double abyssal blade.
Got this 25. They have level 18 on Silencer with that level 3 in the Global Silence, and then Miero picks up his refresher. He's got 44 coats of blood. Can put as many coats as you want on it, as long as you don't put a coat over my first dollar.
It's at one point it's like enough. Like he has over 70% physical damage reduction. When he uses Call, that's gonna be even more.
Maladich, he's getting the farm, but it's not nearly the same Tinker game.
No, definitely not. You can tell. Made a couple of mistakes though. TPing in front of the lifestealer, then dying. In the previous fight, he TP'd in the middle of them as well. Immediately got focused. He needs to stay behind and try to get as many items, as many defense matrices as possible. But there is this big item like this. Monkey King as well with Refresher. It's going to be causing you way too many issues. Nullifier on Lifestealer in the backpack.
Trying to figure out how you
We'll
defend
swap
against
it in.
all this.
Tower is under attack.
Aegis with 3 minutes on it, looking for the Aghanim's Blessing so he can put that BKB in his slot.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Pure
attack.
even committing to TPing down into the bottom lane. No full-fledged fight from BetBoom Team, no push up on the high ground. And again, they place this ward in a spot that might get them a touch of information. See where these heroes from Gaimin are going to be. BetBoom had a big problem trying to go through this Tinker in the last game, but it has not been the same problem this game.
Doom is 25, that's the big one. So they can't be using their items anymore. That's the old Doom. Not sure how that was. I mean, we had a lot of OP stuff in Dota over the years, but that was the part of his basic ability where you couldn't do anything. It didn't have the stop the healing component. And with that Aegis on 2 minutes left, they will be trying to go for the high ground. But have in mind, you can't use your items.
Pure working on this tier 3 mid. And then the blink into the lasso, it's onto an illusion. Dream Coil gets snapped. So Dream Coil for nothing, lasso for nothing.
There is Refresher available if they want to use that one. Maybe give it the save, try to surprise them with the blink jump again.
Not exactly what they would have liked there. But also Dream Coil on cooldown. But you're running lower and lower on this Aegis. So minute 30.
Lasso's not that big on cooldown, especially with level 20 talent. And Arcane Rune now picked up.
Yeah, he's got 15-second cooldown left on the lasso.
50 on BKB.
That's the big one if he just gets caught. Can't group up, but they go to the swap. They're going to look for Pure. He's silenced. This Aegis is gone. Good move there by Gaimin Gladiators to take the Aegis out pretty quickly, but now they're going to go to the Wukong's command GPK that's going to be deep inside the base. This will secure at least the melee
Stop
racks.
that one.
But yeah, nothing more doing, and GPK bails from this Gaimin Gladiators side, and a little surprising.
They will need to be more careful if they're going to be sieging with no Aegis next time around. There is no Linken's here yet, no Lotus Orb available to put on your Lifestealer, and they can execute it the next time with the swap into Doom.
Almost 25 for Puck. Couple creeps away, and he'll have Dream Coil pierces debuff immunity.
That's one way to stop them. Now they can't use their items, they can't use their BKBs if they get doomed. Still winnable.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it says 16,000. We've seen some bigger comebacks as well, but they definitely have the heroes now, especially when they start scaling slightly more. We talked about this Vengeful Spirit, Vlad's, Vengeance Aura, and also Pax Leader Aura. I want to see the damage when he's standing close to the Doom.
Linken's
450 damage.
First time on this Monkey King.
They did give, in the end, the refresher to save. They want to have that double lasso.
Quinn.
He's
Jumping
in.
Ooh. He's playing on the edge. Dreamcoil is even going to
Arrow's gonna
down.
catch him.
Arrow's got the paw.
He has a refresher as well.
Swap. All right, that gets Quinn out. The Terra is going to be on to 3 heroes because they're infested onto the Bat Rider. But you use Coil. They do have Lasso. They do have Global. They gave the refresher over to save. He's got the double Lasso potential. But see if they make the jump. They're holding off. They're playing very conservative. That fight looked like it was going to happen. Both teams, just kidding.
As soon as that defense matrix came in, extra status resistance against Axe. Very, very good. Also forcing Miero to use refresher. He thought he was going to have him with the double call, but also swap came through immediately. That's exactly what they need. This type of a fight where they counter-initiate. They're not ever gonna be like initiating unless they're sieging the high ground to swap into Doom play. Roshan is gonna be respawning shortly. Needs another minute and 45.
Looks like they're content with just waiting for Roche. The pace of the game makes me think we might be going to 60 minutes. But there's still a full 10 in between then and now. See if Gaimin Gladiators can find a pickoff. Can they get anything? Maybe they get Miero. See the creeps being pulled over, but it's GPK who's right next to Miero, as well as Pure. No Aegis, but a cheese available on the Monkey King. They'll all back up together, and they've got the Bat Rider nearby. So they'll infest in a save
with the
again.
Shadow Blade. He sold his boots. For now, it's Refresher Shard. Wants to find something. He said it so many times. At the later stages of the game, invisibility is invincibility. Let's see if they can find something here. Roshan is going to be spawning on Radiant's side.
But in how long?
Needs another good 30 seconds.
At least, yeah. Gem from Maladich. He's starting to catch up to the Bat Rider and Farm, who save. He's super farmed. But they're starting to cross over, and they might be able to catch something. They've got the lasso. It's on to the Venge. They will get Ace, and they should be able to get his second life. They actually swap Quinn in.
They got Tofu as well. He pretty much died from collateral damage from Wukong's command and Boundless Strike. Now Roshan is... Oh, never mind. It's going to take a while until this Roshan respawns. This was the potential respawn.
Minute 20. Or minute 10.
Still using this refresher, trying to use this refresher. They've been holding it for a really long time now, ever since the last Roche.
They've been trying to use this lasso with the vest. They're trying to break through. Both these heroes on the side of Gaimin Gladiators don't have to use their buybacks. Same respawn timer. That's kind of rare. They are moving in, and Miero, he has just been on point with these blink calls constantly. They looked over at Save. They'll have Maladich coming over, and now
Nullifier.
they've got the call. The Nullifier, the Global Sound is going to come through. They'll look for the Doom.
They got another one.
They go to the swap. It's not going to be on the right target. Quinn dead, buying back. Doom on a Pure, but he is going to get out of the fight. Now they'll look for Ketaomi, but this is Ace in trouble with the Wukong's command coming down. They need to get out of this circle, but Ace is not going to be fortunate enough because they've got this Abyssal Blade, but the Guardian Greaves now, he gets away with the Lotus, but the Culling Blade is through, and now Pure, as well as Miero, they've got their hands on the illusion. They'll take
another
the second
double
life.
lasso.
The lasso on a Bolt of Doom, as well as the Tinker. They're going to try and get the kill on Watson. Pure going in and gets out Maladich. Watson with the Lotus Orb on himself, but the BKB from Pure, it's running out in a second. They've got the blink as well as the call coming out from Miero. Quinn, can he help at all? Buybacks around the horn coming through from Gaimin Gladiators. They get the swap on a Watson from behind them. GPK, he's there. Boundless Strike on a Watson with a Lotus Orb. He's still surviving. They get the kill on the Silencer. Finally, they should be able to take out Watson, but he's still standing his ground. He finally gets killed off by Miero. They'll take out the Axe. They look over at GPK. He's going to be infested into. The Magic Missile comes through from Ace. GPK is dead. It's a triple kill from Quinn. They're actually pulling this back. They'll look for the Life Stealer, who's going to be stunned up again, and the laser hits, and he dies too. So much gold going back for Gaimin Gladiators. It cost them 4 buybacks, but I mean, that is a victory in itself. Especially if they get this
4
road.
buys, and let's see how, like, BetBoom is a team that will take these fights. They will buy back. It is a very aggressive team. Not sure if this is the right choice here, but they might take it slowly, seeing that they can kill them multiple times. 4 buybacks on cooldown, and if they can get away without buying back here, let's see. There's a tier 2 tower available at the mid. They still need to munch through the tier 3s as well, but there's a lot of damage. Like Quinn, we talked about all of these auras stacking with Vlad's, with Vengeful Spirit aura and Pack Leader aura. They were life-stealing also a lot. You saw Watson in the middle of a fight.
He had this much health, making the smallest little sliver possible because he was standing there with almost nothing.
These are long 60 seconds. Everybody does have buyback available on BetBoom Team.
How long do they hold the buybacks? Can Gaimin pull them out of BetBoom's pocket?
Refresher on Doom, so double Doom this time around. The barracks, they are gone in a second.
How much are you willing to give up? The fact that they're going to be the first ones to break a second set of barracks here is insane. We're at a 54-minute game, and it was BetBoom leading by 22,000 net worth. They don't.
They're gonna give it up.
They hold.
They made the call. They want their abilities to reset. They want refreshers back online. Went to double call.
I cannot believe they all held buybacks from a team like BetBoom that I sometimes feel like are trigger happy to just go in and try and end it. This is the patience that might make the difference.
It was a risky move. Let's see, 57%. Dota Plus is gonna give for Gaimin Gladiators to win this game potentially.
Aghanim Scepter for Puck. And look at that win percentage go back. Look at that graph start to go up. This is you gotta be sweating if you're BetBoom now. Look at this. Look at how long Watson survives here. He
Swap on
has
Doom, barrier gets
400 health.
nullified, but he's still surviving. Like, goes back up with every single hit. He is life-stealing a lot.
Another
Guardian
barrier.
Greaves as well. That extra bit of armor, extra bit of regen that he gets, actually keeping him alive there with all of these other things that they're throwing on top of him. And then you can feel the damage. Quinn with the buyback. He was the first one to use it.
And they catch Pure. They locked him down. They don't buy back, though. They hold those buybacks. So you look at that chart, and it's just the Dark Willow. Can Gaimin complete the comeback in this game?
All the buybacks are ready for BetBoom Team. 4 buybacks used in the previous fight. Aegis, 2.5 minutes. Their buybacks are resetting in 4 minutes. Almost 5 minutes for Watson.
They understand that they have no buybacks. They just have the Aegis on Quinn.
If they get a pick-off, it's going to be 4v5. But there's also Vengeful Spirit with Cheese, with Aghanim Scepter, and also Quinn with Aegis. So let's see how they're going to approach this one. Whoever leaves the base, save. He had some pretty good initiations. Let's see if they can find another one.
Smoke and Infested looking for the blink. They need to
Catapult's
be
gonna
away
give
from
him
each other.
just a tiny bit of vision.
Can't risk getting double lassoed in this moment. The Guardian Greaves were very important as well. It looked as though Ace was going to die initially inside the Wukong's command. He's able to make the escape because they had the heals for him. He ended up surviving, getting out of the circle, and the kill on Venge initially takes a little bit longer than maybe they would have thought, especially because Wukong's, when it was used, was right on the Venge.
Yep, she's also very tanky with level 20 talent. Her Wave of Terror steals like the damage reduced and armor. Definitely starts to add up. Almost has 40 armor, which is 70% physical resistance. Great against Lifestealer. They will need to make a move. Maybe they can wait it out until Aegis is gone, so knowing that Quinn doesn't have buyback, there's going to be a 2-minute window, minute and 30, to try to kill him before he gets his buyback. Again, Flame Break applies Sticky Napalm charges. He's been level 25 for quite some time.
These supports, though, of Dark Willow and Silencer not near that 25 at all. No surprise. Dark Willow did hit that 20, so they do have that Bramble Maze cooldown reduction.
Yeah, the only one who didn't buy back was Tofu. He's trying to get his hands on Nullifier, which is a good way of saving people, but there's also Nullifier on Lifestealer. Still, you can't use it on every single target.
They've been sitting here on this cliff. Amplify damage.
Aegis, 20 seconds left. Let's see. Are they going to be able to find something? Any kind of pick-off is going to be good for BetBoom Team. Amplify damage as well. Pure going to pick that one up.
Hitting for 545. They did see that on the Radiant side, but now you gotta, you have to try and play this in a way you don't get Lasso to start.
Aegis is gone immediately. They're looking for the jump.
They're at least gonna try and look for the buildings. Dream Coil and the swap.
snap the
that
coil.
snap seat. They'll go to the global silence. Pure's gonna be in a little bit of trouble, but he goes into the infest. It's
Two-man
gonna be out of the
lasso.
Doom, and now they've got the lasso, they've got the Wukongs, but do they have the damage? They hit the call. It's gonna be out of Quinn.
Watson.
They'll go into the phase shift. They get the kill on Watson. They take out the Doom. He's gone for 2 minutes. There's the Abyssal on a Quinn, but he yules. Can he survive? Ooh, phase shifting, trying to get away. Blink call and attempt. But they will get the mid-tier 3. They will get the range racks. Still, though, no Watson for 100 seconds.
He had Refresher, he had Doom ready, didn't use anything. He got nullified immediately. Batrider catching both Puck and Doom. What a great initiation from Save. This could have been a disastrous one, because you have level 25 on Puck with Coil.
Coil
They snapped it again.
Under the tier 4s, Pure! Oh, he's able to survive against the Infested and the Tofu. Oh, man! That's a problem. They still get Miero, though. He's going to buy back immediately. They'll go over at Pure. They've got the waiting Rift. With the jostling Rift, that pulls him in. Pure buys back 2. Now you don't have buybacks available on both your 1 and your 3.
They called it. They called to be in. They want to try to end this game. Buybacks are coming off cooldown. Doom is going to be ready, but he doesn't have money. He invested his money into Sacred Relic. So let's see how they approach this one.
Coil's
Coil,
up again.
10 seconds.
Oh, boy.
Swap ready again.
Danger, danger.
This just gave them opportunity. 2 really big buybacks.
Lasso on a 2. They'll pop the Infest. They'll try to go and get the kill on a Quinn. They jump forward, and he is down, but he's got buyback. Now they hit the Terrorize. It comes through. It lands on a Miero. It lands on a save. They have the Refresher. It's onto the Silence. They need to get themselves the global silence, but
2
they get the ton of
minutes
Miero.
gone.
No buyback. GPK on the run. He's got a Refresher as well. But now Doom, he's going to be back up 25 seconds. The buyback for Quinn available, and he gets to come back into the fight.
This is pretty massive. This opens up the door for them to win this 4th game and potentially go for the distance. Let's see if they're going to be able to do it. Refresher available on Doom. It has not been used in the previous fight. They're still holding the cheese.
Got to get those tier 5s.
60 minutes in. A on disc. On Puck.
I didn't really
Kill
think we'd
can
get
be
here.
nullified, but we are here.
Dire's courier has been killed.
GPK gonna lose that courier, and they need to start going for these neutrals, get those Mad Stones, get those tier 5s.
They're trying to get to neutralize us on the side. It's going to take a while. It's a lot of tokens that you need to get, a lot of these Mad Stones. But they also want to be pushing the mid lane. They want to get the buyback out on some of these heroes, knowing that there is no buyback on Lifestealer. Miero's gone for 60 seconds. They do have Glyph. So this fight is going to be pretty much 4 versus 5. And they also have some buybacks coming off cooldown on Radiant side.
Maladich as well as Ace, they have these buybacks. If they can get a glimpse, they can get a swap. All they need to do is
Save.
break this smoke.
He
They're
wants
in the
the
back
jump.
of the base. They'll get at least the tier 4. Gaimin Gladiators looking for the way back in. They go to the Wukong's man with a balance strike in that shard. They hit the lasso. They pull him into the Wukongs, but is it going to be enough damage? They're looking over. They get themselves Watson. No, he's still alive.
He has
he's trying to
Refresher.
run. He gets the
He used
Refresher.
it.
He's trying to be high
Can't get the
here
Doom
with all
off
these
Manta.
spots, but no, he's dead. Now, they've got another one. Ace is in trouble. He's in the middle of the Wukong's command. The Terrorize lands on the Monkey King. That stops the Wukongs and kind of keeps Ace alive for another second or so. The Curse Crown lands. GPK's in trouble. He's got a little bit of life left, and Pure now focusing his attention
Helm
on
of
the
the
Paladin.
Undying.
They get
Dies.
GPK. He's got buyback.
Pure's
They'll come
cleaning
back
up.
into this exchange.
They need to
Triple
kill
for
the
Pure.
They need to kill the banner. Banner, oh man, catapults. All the tier 4s are gone, but still holding the Glyph. They did not use it in the previous fight. Ace with the buyback, and so did GPK. Let's see if Roshan is available in the bottom pit.
Oof.
Refresher could be a
Tinkered in
big one.
buyback.
Aegis and Cheese as well.
Can they go for it? Everybody's up for the side of BetBoom.
Pure, he risked it all. Divine Regalia. That's extra 20% of the damage that you deal. You cannot die though.
This is
Level 30 on Lifestealer.
these tier 5s, only 2 out of all of them. They didn't go for the tier 5s on the side of Gaimin Gladiators, and now this Roshan, this Aegis, is going to be here for BetBoom. 64 minutes in. They're trying to collect everything they can to get the tier 5s. Book of the Dead for the silencer.
They have way too many items. Like Batrider, again, he has refresher.
Keeps going.
This is going to be a refresher shard. Refresher on silencer coming off cooldown in 75 seconds. GPK bought his as well. And you have Axe. We talked about it 30 minutes ago that there's going to be maybe a big issue if it comes down to the super late game where there's going to be like 4 or 5 refreshers. And I see 4 for now. Miero with Boots of Travel wants to push it out.
Yeah, those creeps were in on the throne. Blink lasso, that's connects on to Quinn. Nullify refresher, looking for another lasso. Quinn lassoed again, still alive.
Watson lassoed.
And they should be able to get the kill. That's going to be 2 minutes without.
Talked about it 30 minutes ago that there's going to be maybe a big issue if it comes down to the super late game where there's going to be like 4 or 5 refreshers. And I see 4 for now. Miero with Boots of Travel wants to push it out.
Yeah, those creeps were in on the throne. Blink lasso, that's connects on to Quinn. Nullify refresher, looking for another lasso. Quinn lassoed again, still alive.
Watson lassoed.
And they should be able to get the kill. That's going to be 2 minutes without this puck.
He got swapped out.
Oh, man.
Another refresher on Monkey in 30 seconds. Without Coil, they don't have that combo. They don't have swap, and they're going in. Book of the Dead. The 2 Books of the Dead, actually.
Well. Creeps are in on the throne. On the Radiant side, another creep wave's coming in. They go to the swap. They look over at Pure. Is going to pop the BKB. They hit the nullifier on Ace. Blink, call, Miero, Watson jumping in, gets the Doom. It's onto the silencer. They should be able to get a kill there. He'll burn out. He's got buyback though. Katheomi buys back immediately. They go after Ace. This is the illusion. Nullified, trying to run open wounds. That cleans that up. He's going to be dead for 2 minutes as well. The throne is exposed. They hit the lasso. It's on to
GPK
Watson.
with another
Wukong.
Wukong.
A Wukong's command. A balance strike. The look over Balance. She'll get the dunk. They'll get the kill, and he's going to buy back too. But they need to
save.
Really control this.
Buyback.
Watson
they're going
getting
all
a kill
in.
and a save. He's going to buy back.
One last time.
Very low, getting low, looking like BetBoom are going to have this victory as they take out Watson. He's got
holding the
buyback
glyph.
as well. Another glyph though. 60 seconds without Quinn. This just isn't looking possible.
For
Pure
Duraccio, Pure says.
He really wants it, and he calls for Duraccio. Maladich is gone, and BetBoom will take the series.